Hello, everybody, and welcome to ROMs Over Baghdad, episode 169. Joining me today, the child of us all, DJ. Are you enjoying
Hi,
the
I'm
number?
pretty
You're
sure I'm
enjoying the
older
number?
than you.
I don't know about that.
I'm very much older than you.
Yeah,
Yeah, but you're enjoying the 69, though, right? Is that
Yeah.
where?
Don't
good.
we all enjoy
Who
the
doesn't? Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't? True. Very enjoyable, from what I've been told, from what I've heard.
It's pretty nice.
Good, great. Jake,
hello.
hi. How you doing?
Doing all
Starting
right.
off mature.
Oh,
We're gonna
yeah.
have to get that mature broadcast thing on. Do we have that?
We do.
Is that on?
Yep, because we
Great.
say swears. So
Swears. Okay.
Oh, it is 169 as well. That's great.
yes, we were not joking.
You thought you thought I was
No, I
joking?
thought- yeah, I knew we were in the vicinity. I didn't know this was the one.
This is the big one. This is the big number. Very excited. Putting together like an emotional appeal to our listeners. It's gonna be great. We're very excited about it. It's the biggest number of all.
It's not, but that's okay.
Okay. Mary, what do you think? Which number beats this number? Like, is it 3,000? What's our next milestone?
Well, I mean, when we get to 420, I know how we can
Okay.
make the episode special.
Yeah. By that time,
Alright.
weed will just be
Yeah.
legalized. around
legal.
the
We can
world.
Yeah.
do it right on the stream.
Yep.
Yeah, probably even in Texas.
Hopefully.
They just legalized hemp and they tossed out a bunch
What?
of cases. They tossed out a bunch of cases because since now hemp is legal, there's like a specific THC limit that it has to be
Right.
under. So if you're arrested currently, if they have to do lab testing to determine the THC level, so they're just dismissing a bunch of cases right now because they only have one lab, and yeah, it's
Okay.
just too much work. So
Funny story about hemp.
That's actually kind of funny. It's like the weed that you had when you got arrested was so fucking bad that we are legally classifying it as hemp and we are exonerating you and you get to go.
Yeah.
mhm.
That's sad. I mean, it's good that people are getting out of jail for this, but
yeah,
you know what I mean. It's funny.
it is
I
funny.
bet those people are also pissed. Like, God damn, my weed dealer's a piece of shit.
Oh, absolutely. Funny story about hemp. I was at the Meat Hook barbecue place that is in my area. Great name for a barbecue place. And like a bunch of guys from like a hemp factory walked in, all wearing hemp shirts. It was a very strange occurrence. I only noticed it because it's like all these guys wearing marijuana leaves as shirts. It's like
Yeah, I was like, you probably wouldn't know unless there was some sort of logo on there. But
Yep, just a big marijuana leaf and the big letters hemp. I don't know why. Just all wandered in. There's like 5 people all wearing hemp shirts. It was very, you don't see that every day. But again, hemp. It's the future textile from the 1960s.
I don't know if hemp is soft. It looks like what's those
Mm.
like the like 60s portrayal of poor people and they're just in that bag.
Oh, burlap.
a burlap,
Burlap
yes,
bag.
Yeah,
burlap
it kind of
sack.
looks like burlap, and I don't trust burlap to be comfortable, and it looks the same.
Yeah, it's fair. Yeah,
I mean, like
I feel like
you can make a ton of shit out of hemp. I don't think it's not too out of the question to make it actually like a soft textile, make shirts out of it and stuff.
I just feel like all hemp shirts I've seen look like they're from the 1960s. Like they look like this free love kind of shirts. Like you don't see a lot of professional business attire made of hemp. That's all I'm saying.
Well, maybe
Well,
you
it's 'cause it's a
have,
weed
and
leaf.
you just
Yeah.
And that has other connotations. So it's like people, that's why.
Is
That's
there
it.
hemp suits?
Get a hemp tie.
There's hemp suits. Organically tailored hemp dress.
Of
Okay,
course
well,
there is. Yeah, of
of
course
course
there
there's
is.
somebody's gonna use it. Okay,
Big
well,
hemp has to go into their
Gotta go in.
interviews looking flashy.
Big hemp. They call it. They make hemp rope, right? Isn't that like a hemp rope? Isn't that a thing? Isn't that the big hemp rope?
There's probably hemp everything.
Hemp tree? I don't know. I don't know. I'm not with the kids and these weeds. I don't know. That's all I know. Is there rope? Hemp and rope? Hempton rope.
Him,
So
yes.
this episode is going very
Oh,
well.
yeah.
We're doing great. I'm gonna chug this bang now.
Yes.
Okay, hold on.
Great.
Bang.
Go for it.
We're gonna do a little bang hit
Which
here.
one is it?
It's this. What the hell is it called? Star Blast.
This
It
is your
has
first
super
bang, right?
first.
You're a
Yes, first
virgin
bang.
to it.
Yes. Oh God. It has like CoQ10 in it, and super creatine.
Real quality
Oh,
content.
wow.
What's your taste?
Wow,
what is
that's
it?
I can't really compare that to much. Sort of tastes
Yeah.
like fruit punch, maybe.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe like something spicy in there.
Spicy.
Yeah.
Maybe that's the super creatine.
Yeah, the super
Yeah.
creatine. You can really taste it.
I
The
think it went
creatine.
bad.
It's okay. I'll see how I feel after I drink like half of this and see if I can just like sprint up a wall. You'll know if it's working or not. Yeah.
So 0% sugar.
0% sugar. It's great for keto. That's all I know.
Mm-hmm. It's also one of the weird things about it is it's clear in liquid as well.
Yeah.
There's no like light pink bullshit on there as an additive. It's just clear, which is weird to me for energy.
Oh look, it's a cat.
Yeah, he
my
was trying to get into my coffee,
God.
so I had to pick him up.
Troublemaker.
What's his name? Did you decide a name
He's
yet?
currently nameless right now. I don't know.
Name
I
him
was
nameless.
No, I want to name him Heath, I think, because he's like
Heath.
all
Like a Heath bar.
Yes, exactly. Yeah. He looks like candy.
What's
Oh,
a
he's very
Heath bar?
cute. Oh, big yawn.
Wow.
Great.
He's a star.
He is. He's
Mhm.
the star of us all now. He's
We need
very
a
excited.
kitty cam from now on.
Yeah,
can you start
be
working
better
on
than
that?
me.
Start
Okay.
workshopping it. We'll put it together. It'll be the middle picture. We can finally have the middle picture, or like a picture in picture kind of thing, and then have a cat. It'll be great.
The picture of Bang.
Yeah, there you go. And there's just a picture of a bang can just sitting somewhere. Now you're trashing, my friend. Now you're playing with what I used to do on streams. Now you're thinking. Now you're trashing. Well, is that enough other stuff? Can we move on to video games? Or
Yes.
you guys have any?
Yeah.
Okay. You sure?
The
Always
secret,
done
okay.
other stuff.
The secret to a transition is
Uh-huh.
you just do it. You don't ask. You just do it.
Is it though? Isn't it more
And then if
fun?
no, it's not, because then this awkward thing
Yeah, you
happens that
don't
we're doing
your
right now.
way.
Just go.
Well, speaking of video games, I played a lot.
No one was speaking of video games.
There's so many of them I played that it's actually, in sake of time, I will only discuss the ones I've listed. But man, I'll say this much: Xbox Game Pass. I'm getting a lot of use out of that sucker. I'm playing like 12 different
too.
games at once. It's a lot of fun.
Are you okay? I was gonna say, are you using their new queue system? But if you're playing multiple games at once, it doesn't seem like.
Yeah, queue system. What do you mean? What do you mean?
They added in a recent patch it's like a playlist instead of like the Steam wish list on things you want to buy at some point. It's a bunch of games that you want to play at some point.
Huh?
So like you queue up a bunch of games on the Game Pass, so you run through them one by one, so you don't forget like what's on the like whole list. And it's like, oh,
Huh.
Astroneer's next. I'll play Astroneer, and then when you're done with it, it'll pop up the next one, State of Decay. It's a neat idea.
And they just added a bunch of games that I was really excited about, including a game I was gonna buy, which is Shadow of War, and I'm gonna get to eventually too. So
Nice.
it's like the best
Wait.
service. It's really good.
Is that the latest
Yes, that was the last.
Middle Earth one? Okay, cool. I need to play that too.
Yep, Shadow of War, Shadow of Wardor,
Shadow of
Shadow of
Wardor.
Wardor. That's what we called it, right? That's right.
That
What
was it.
everybody
So
called
yeah,
it.
that's what everybody
Yep.
called. So I kind of started off my journey into Game Pass, feeling it out, talking with Pop Cans, friend of the show, and we started playing some Gears of War 4. And And that's a lot of Gears. It's been a long time. It felt sort of refreshing to jump back into a Gears game. They do a few different little things there with like making it a little fresher, a little tighter, some little control changes and stuff. But it's like weird to be back. It's like I'm in it again. I'm in this Gears of War 4. There's these new characters. Everybody's old now. It's like so different, especially after going through E3 and seeing the new trailer for the 5th Gears of War game. This is like it's like back. It's like coming home again. You know, you can never come home, but now I'm back in Gears of War, shooting people with shotguns and chainsawing people. It just feels good, you know. Just feels good. But then Popcan said, "Let's not play this anymore," and so we stopped.
Oh, okay.
And that's where we left Gears of War 4.
So what did he just have to like? Was that enough for one day,
was
or did
enough,
he hate
yeah.
it, or what? Okay.
No, it was just like, all
He's
right,
done
we killed them.
He's done the same thing with Crackdown 3 and me. We played a good chunk of it in one day, and I don't know if he wants to get back to playing that game.
Sometimes you just don't feel it, you know, and you got to. So I'll say this: the beginning part of that story is a little slow. It's a little like, here are these new characters. You're going to be fighting robots and not like chainsawable, like it's not all gore and stuff. So it's cool, I guess. I don't know, but it's all right. I mean, I actually kind of like the way it gets into it, as like it shows you the events of the last few games, sort of like gives you a little like, here's what happened during this war, and you're playing it as this random grunt guy who dies, and then you play as another part of this war later on, like Gears 2, and you die again as a random grunt guy, and it just keeps kind of going.
So they made it into like a Call of Duty game with like these little vignettes or something.
Right.
Yeah, it kind of starts off with that kind of Call of Duty vignette, or I compared it more to like Battlefield 1, where you have
Okay.
these different little like snapshot kind of moments of people
so
doing stuff.
you mean Modern Warfare?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. It's kind of telling the story of like, I don't know what the fucking war it was that started off Gears, the one with they're fighting the other people, the Indra or whatever, and then the Emergence Day happens and all these mole people come out and you fight those mole people for a while. And then, you know, that stuff.
The
It was cool.
Locust. is
The
what they're
Locusts.
called.
The Locust, yeah.
But also the mole people, which I prefer to call them. The mole men. It's fun. It was actually interesting going from Gears of War 4, and then I've also been playing God of War a little bit. I think I mentioned it in the last podcast. But like seeing these two game series that were like PlayStation 2 era, sort of these big things, and then having them trying to get back to that story after a long time, kind of distant. It's neat. It's a neat idea of like, how do you take a pretty limited series of games and go and make a like universe out of it? How do you turn this
Expand
into
it.
something bigger? Yeah, expand it, bring in new characters. How do you take this thing that was a very of its time thing and make it sort of more timeless? And I think they both do a pretty all right job of it. I think God of War does a better job, obviously, but I think Gears does a pretty all right job of coming back again too. So yeah, those are two big games that we're playing. Playing Into the Breach. I could keep going for hours. Into the Breach is very good. That's another one on Game Pass. You and me are playing Astroneer, DJ.
We are playing Astronaut.
What you think of Astroneer, sir?
It's fun. So when people described it, I thought it was like, hey, you tool around in a world until you're done. Then you
Mhm.
sort of like prepare to pack your shit up into a shuttle and then go to the next world. And then
Sure.
like your plan is to like hop onto these different worlds and find an end result. But that's kind of not the case at all. So in the last play session, we got to the point where Popcans decided he hated us too much and
That's true.
built a shuttle and flew
Can't
away.
blame him.
But then, like the fool that he is, he didn't pack another thruster, so he was stuck on the island. So we had to survive. We had to. I had to build another ship and like 3 thrusters and give one to him, and then fucking fly back.
Fly back. I'll keep
Um,
loading on thrust.
But it seems like the whole thing is designed around that main starting planet. You still there's a lot of materials that that starting planet doesn't have, so you still need to go on like excursion missions, and then I guess once you have more tech and knowledge, you can create bases there.
Mm.
But for now, we're just trying to do excursion missions because um, there's an oxygenator that allows the tethers to work, and the tethers allow you to get very far from your ship.
Yep.
So if you don't have like a bunch of tethers, you have to deal with oxygen masks and like oxygen tanks, which are time limited. So yeah, we're just at that stage of like understanding multiple world workings. I think the next time we play, Thouden wants to go to another
I
planet.
do.
I think Popcans wants to go to the same planet. I'll just happily stick on the mainland and farm some shit, I guess. There's a lot of stuff we need to work on still.
Yeah. It's like it's very open. Like it just goes
Yeah.
like, here you go. You're on this planet. Go do what you want to do. And
Yeah.
I mean, it's kind of similar, Jake. You and I played. What the heck is it? Rock and Stone.
Deep Rock Galactic,
Deep Rock Galactic. It's very similar.
which I need to add to my
except
list,
for-
actually. I played some of that.
Yeah, there you go.
Continue, sorry.
It's very similar to that in like some of the pieces where you're like mining stuff and sort of you can see some of the same thought process, but this is much more of an open survival, whereas Deep Rock Galactic is more mission focused. It's just interesting to see like the two different approaches.
They both have mining.
They both have mining,
Yes.
That's
and
I like
pretty much
this
it.
one. I like this in the sense that it gives us this freedom where I don't care if Popcans goes somewhere.
sure,
It actually benefits me if he fucks off to another planet and then gets materials that I normally can't get. And I like the idea that the kind of theoretically the whole system is like running in this world. Like sometimes you'll look up and if the planet he's on is like in the sky, you can actually see his icon where he's
yeah,
on
neat.
the
right.
planet. It's really weird sometimes. Yeah, it's a really interesting game. So it's clunky as shit sometimes with that backpack and trying to put shit into that backpack. But yeah, it's very fun.
Yeah, I'm really enjoying it. It's like fun to just kind of you can kind of focus on your own stuff. I mean, it's the stuff that Terraria does really well and stuff that Minecraft does really well. You can go off and
Yeah.
kind of do your own thing, but at the same time have that kind of shared experience stuff that I think makes it a
We have
valuable.
like some base goal on like Minecraft and stuff.
Yeah, you kind of know. You like say we have to go get this. You know, I think that's fun. Just having like goals that you can work towards together, but at the same time get up to weird, wacky hijinks, like when I dug all the way down to the bottom of the earth. That was fun. You guys were making shuttles, and I was going underground, going into the deep, dark darkness. It was fun. I don't know. I enjoy it. It's a great time, and it's on Game Pass, and it's like just jump in. And I'll say this, even though there's some issues and some like kind of I don't know a little bit of jank here and there, like all the online stuff has worked pretty well for us so far.
Yeah, it has. Yeah.
And like all the pieces
There
work.
is
So.
jank, but it's still a really cool user interface. There's no like pop-up.
Yep.
Well, the pop-ups are like in world and stuff, and like you see the guy actively take the backpack off, and you still have to interact with the shit in your backpack, moving it in and out. It's like real time 3D models and stuff. It's cool.
Yeah, it's cool. I like it a lot. Very excited to keep playing it. I want to go see some other planets. I want to see what like what's the next thing after you. I don't know. Can you build a big shuttle and like just have infinite and fly around the universe? Like what's the end game of that game look like? I'm excited to see it.
Basically, that game is go through the tech tree and then go to the planets that you need to accomplish that.
Yep. Yep.
So, like
Lots of mining.
Yeah. Basically, just build a base and then build parts for another base. And then you have to get all of the research done for the thing that makes those into little packages that you can then put on your ship to take with you places.
Yep.
Right.
Yeah. And then you make another base on that planet, and then, yeah.
And eventually,
But there's like planet
take
stuff
over the
to
world.
do. Like there's a weird like the spoilers, there's like a weird platform which you have to trigger, and it highlights that there's multiple platforms on this mainland island thing. I think there's also others on other planets as well that you have to trigger as well. So we'll have to deal with that at some point.
Yeah, we found like 2 of those, and then I don't think we found the other ones.
You
We
gave up. Yeah.
It's fun. Yeah, try it, Mary. You have Game Pass. You should give it a try. Hop
Yeah,
on in.
I might.
Come
You
hang
could
out with
literally
us.
just jump into our world.
You can.
Yeah.
Just go
Okay,
and jump in.
sure, why not?
Do some mining.
Okay.
You have fireworks. It's a lot of fun.
Oh, really?
Yeah, fireworks. A lot of fun. We haven't blown ourselves up with them, but they're in there. I don't think we've researched them yet, but they're there.
We have not. He is lying. We have not touched fireworks yet.
Oh, okay.
But they're
Well,
there, and I keep looking at them every time I open my research pen and going, "Hey, there's fireworks," and going like, "I wonder what those are like. Why do we need fireworks? We
I
should
mean, that can be my job when I move
Yeah.
in.
make some fireworks."
Research fireworks, yeah.
Then put on a massive fireworks display, the
Mhm.
likes of which no one has ever seen before.
Hopefully Popcans can see it from his planet.
Yeah.
Oh, that'd be so good if you could see it. If you could see it from a, oh, that'd be so good. Oh, I hope I hope that's real. I hope that's, it's just an idea, but that'd be great. And then also still at Witcher 3. Still plugging away. I beat Heart of Stone. That DLC. Beat that part. It's really good. I might like that more than actually base Witcher 3. The main villain is much better, in my opinion, than whatever his name is. What's his name, Mary? Aridin?
I don't remember. I played that game forever ago. That's how
Elfman?
much of a big event he was. Yeah. I remember those ice horse dudes more, but I don't remember their name
Ice Horse,
either.
man. The Wild Hunt. Cool. Yeah. Heart of Stone's a lot of fun. I think it does a lot of interesting things. It's very much like a fairy tale. Like it's like these are a lot of like, I think, Germanic fairy tales and stuff like that they kind of build it in this thing, and then it feels more like
I think
a
they're more
one-off.
Polish than Germanic, but
I don't know. It's okay.
Yeah.
That's fair. Brothers Grimm. How about that? Would that kind of cover it? I mean, they would cover that area. So you kind of get like different. There's a frog prince. Spoilers. That kind of stuff. Frog princes. Kissing frog princes, right?
How many boobs did you see in this DLC?
One set.
Just one.
Okay.
Okay.
One set, please. One set, please. There is
I
a
don't
relationship to be had.
a pair, I think,
A
is more
set.
the appropriate
Set.
way of saying it.
Just the one.
A collection. A single. Anyway, yeah, Hearthstone, a lot of fun. If you haven't played it, check it out. It's actually a really good time. I'm into Blood and Wine now, which is extremely French, excessively French. So French, I turned on the French subtitles. The French.
Why is it French?
Subtitles. Everybody froze.
Oh, okay. Why
Oh.
is it French?
It's very French because it's like Toussaint. It's a French territory.
Oh,
It's
okay.
it's like you got the Duchy of Toussaint, and everybody like has a French accent, and everybody's super like got the matted back hair and the big what they call it plume of stuff, and they look very like French knights. A lot of gold, silver on their armor.
Mary's disagreeing with you.
I don't know, these interesting French stereotypes.
French
I'm
knights. They always have
befuddled
the
by it.
plume, and then they're usually in gold and silver, and usually they got the lily, right? Don't they usually have the lily of the rose?
Lord
Uh,
Lee.
The frill of the lee.
The
And a
lily
lot
of the
them-
rose.
Also one of the first interactions you have is going into a bar and them going, "You want some crawdads? You want some fish?
Yes, very French.
crawdads.
cutlery,
That's
culinaries.
Cajun. That's not.
Yes.
Yeah, okay, yes, it's sort of Cajun, but it's also very French in a way. Like, you know,
We got a barbecue pit going up back.
kind of barbecue
There's
pit
a
going
bunch of
out back.
snails on there.
Yeah.
Somebody talking about the gators in the back and their ditch in the back. Yeah.
Yep. It's true. You know, knights, errants. There's a lot that's very like high French, you know, Middle Ages, a lot of knights in shining armor sort of deal.
Have you ever even seen a French person before, Albie?
Yes, I have. Of course I have.
I-
From Scranton, Pennsylvania. You think I haven't seen a French person before? Come on now. The French Mecca of the East is what they call Scranton.
The
I don't know if you know.
Pennsylvania French.
It's true. Yeah, it's that. It's like it's French fairy tales and stuff like that. Blood and Wine seems really cool. It's much more colorful. Like there's like when you're riding in on your first time to Toussaint, it's very like purple flowers and color, and it's much different than Velen or Novigrad, which is very mud and
Okay, if
dead.
there's actually like lavender fields, now I believe you a little bit on the French.
Listen, I'm gonna link a picture of a man in armor, and you're gonna believe me, it's very French. All right, he's like, oh my, Toussaint. Also, it's Toussaint. I mean, it's that's a famous French person.
I mean, it could be Arizona for all I know. Like,
Old. I'm looking at his picture. Look at
I
this
read-
man.
I read a thing and it said you're gonna have to post it in the Twitch chat. I read a thing and it said it's a mix of southern France and North Italy or something.
Yeah,
Which-
very. I could see North Italy as well.
I don't know if they link.
that's actually the area of Italy that my family is from. So, yeah.
See, look at these men. Look at them gold armor. And the
I don't
plumes.
think that's a realistic armor set from history or anything.
Who's the history major here? No, yeah, I mean it's not, but it does have symbols on it that would be French symbols, and they always had the plume in the back. Not that they were made out of like that one guy's peacock feathers, out of his plume. I don't think that's very common, but French knights would have plumes, occasionally, especially knights errant, which they are. So yeah, it's cool. I haven't gotten very far in it. Still sort of working on it. Also, the prices of things are ridiculous, but we're having a good time with it. It's a lot of fun. I recommend it, Mary, if you get around to it.
Yeah,
aside
I
from-
want to go back to it. Sorry, interrupting.
My last game I want to talk about is Gwent, the card game, the standalone card game. Gwent, you know it? You've heard about it,
Yep.
certainly at one point. Nobody here's played it, but I have, and I put a significant amount of hours into it because it's a really good game. It's a lot of fun. I think they did a lot of things to make it, like I pretty much removed the parts of Gwent that were, and made a kind of new Gwent. There's some ideas, like there's like 2 rows now. There's a melee row and a ranged row. But besides for that, it's a very, very different game. I like it because it's very, very animated. It feels like every card is like a Harry Potter picture. Like there's people moving around and talking, and it's like everything's so animated and stuff is happening. It also has a sphere grid where you can buy, like you get ingredients and stuff by putting points into different fields and stuff. It's neat. An unlock tree. It's neat.
I don't like Gwent, but good for you.
it a
I'm glad
try.
you're enjoying it.
Just give it a try.
Are you playing this in game or are you playing this like with the Gwent
No,
launcher? Because
it's
didn't they
out.
make like a yeah, they made
Yes.
a like side Gwent.
It's GOG Galaxy, I believe, is the launcher you use for it, and then
It's a
like,
standalone game,
it's
is what he's
standalone.
asking.
Yeah, but I'm pretty sure it was in Witcher 3, right?
That's where it started. Was
Gwent.
in
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Witcher
was a
3.
Yeah,
mini
Witcher
I
3.
was just asking if Thouden was being a dumbass and playing it in game.
No, why would I play it in game? It's not.
I don't know. It seems like something you would do.
That's true. I want to play Thronebreaker also. That's that standalone
What's that
fucking
one?
card game
I haven't
adventure.
heard that one. Is that
Thronebreaker is
also
the
Witcher?
Witcher. Yes, it's a Witcher 3 game. It's a card game, but it's a single player adventure game, I believe. Using cards. It's like a single
Huh.
player thing. I don't know. They seem to like to support that Gwent thing a lot. They've put a lot of work in, and it's really neat. I will stream some at some point so people can actually see and believe me. It's a pretty fun game, especially once you get some cards, which is pretty easy to get cards. Like I don't feel like I'm in Hearthstone where it's like I'm scribbling to get like 150 coins so I can play the arena. Like it really feels like I have plenty to do whatever I want, and I don't feel pressured necessarily to play a ton of it to get
Better than
to a point.
Artifact.
I mean, yes.
Anything's better than
I mean,
Artifact.
I mean, this Bang I'm drinking is better than Artifact. Let's be honest. It's true. That's it for me on the games. I played a lot of games. I can't talk about them all. I'll talk about Kingdom Hearts when I get closer to beating that game. I promise you.
Oh,
I
you're
know
playing
everybody's. We're playing it.
Wow.
It's just
He says he's closer.
don't-
By he means physically closer because he finally cracked the shrink wrap, and that's about it. That's about as far as he's gotten.
He installed the game.
I've been playing some Kingdom Hearts today. Don't worry. I just don't want to. I don't want to be like it's good. It's good. I want to get to like a point where I can feel like I can say how good it is. Also,
So right now you don't like the game, is what you're saying.
no, I like it. It's a very good game.
You're
so
saying
far.
it's a bad game. That
No.
sounds right.
No, it's a lot of fun. It's neat. If you haven't played a Kingdom Hearts game, I think this Kingdom Hearts is a very enjoyable just game. Like I think the game part of it
How
is
will
pretty
I know
good.
the lore?
Yeah, that would.
I mean, yeah, I would not recommend. Hey, it's me.
Yeah, I'm gonna spend.
Optics.
I'm gonna
Let me
spend
just jump in
14
on the
hours
third
playing
game.
this game where I don't know where anything is.
Yeah.
What the fuck is going on?
But if I handed you
Sure.
controller in a fight and you were playing a fight, you would enjoy that
Yeah.
gameplay part. Like, it's
Compared to the
it's
I don't know about
others,
smoother.
that.
yeah, most likely.
The combat I mean, it's not like super deep. Like you're not getting like a Bayonetta here, right? Of super deep combat, but it does what it does very well.
Hey, you
and
know this game that
it's
has a shitload of combat in it? It's not great. Perfect. I'm good.
I know. I didn't say it's not. I said it's good. It's good. It's not great. It's not like super deep. You're not gonna dive into like this thing for like 20, 30 hours, like figuring out these combos. It's it's simple, but it does what it does
That's
effectively.
fine. That's
Yeah.
good.
You would enjoy it. If I handed you a controller, I think
I
you
won't.
would go like, this is all right. I know you won't believe me, and you'll never admit it, but you'll admit it to yourself at night.
Can you
when you're asleep.
control Goofy or Donald, or do you have to control Sora?
Mhm.
If I could fight as Goofy, then I'd be more interested.
Okay, you want to fight as Goofy? I didn't know you were
Yes.
such a Goofy fanatic. A Goofy head.
Goofy is quite literally the best guy in there. Goof Troop.
Wow. Okay. I probably agree with you. I mean, yeah, I probably agree with you. Like Mickey, like who fucking cares about Mickey,
Evil
Donald,
Mickey.
I mean, he's fun. I like DuckTales as much as the next guy, but Goofy's pretty goofy. And I like a goofy person, so I probably agree with you on that. Do you want to be Simba though? How do you feel about being Simba?
What? You can be Simba? No, I'm okay. He's a bit
Yeah,
fun.
you do. Look at you out there.
So
Better
while
than
I
that
was
new
in the
Lion King
US,
movie.
while I was in
What?
the US, there was a bunch of like, I went to a bunch of GameStops because I was like, maybe I'll find some shit that'll be cheap. I did find like a Pachimari elf one for like $2
sure.
at a GameStop because like their clearance was 40% off. And then I also found a gingerbread Pachimari, which was like $1. So that was cool. But there was a lot of Kingdom Hearts bullshit there as well. Including like
Yeah.
this like really bad figure of Sora. But I
Great.
bring it up because remember the like Goofy's neighbor nemesis guy who's rich? The big guy.
Oh.
I forget his name.
Dinkelberg.
Yeah.
Um,
So
yeah,
what-
no,
Pete-
apparently
Pete.
he's in Kingdom Hearts or something. Is it Pete? I think it's Pete.
It's Pete.
Yeah, He's in Kingdom Hearts or
Oh,
something
yeah,
because
yeah.
they were selling a Kingdom Hearts figure of him. And
Yeah,
I
he's
thought
an evil guy.
that's extremely dumb. I almost spent like $15.
He's a villain. He's
That
like
stupid figure.
he's straight up
Is
a
he-
bad main character, by the
Is
way.
he
Like,
wearing like the organization 13 robes and stuff? Because that would look hilarious.
Oh, it's so good. I think he helps out Maleficent. I believe he's like Maleficent's like second in command or something when they go out there and they fucking kill people and shit. Like, he's straight up like an actually bad character chronologically in the story. Like, it's wild. It's like here's all these Disney
I think
characters that you
all the
didn't even remember
characters-
existed.
All the characters in Kingdom Hearts are bad, so there you go.
Yeah. Even Goofy. Wow.
Especially
Yeah.
Goofy. He's like
Wow.
he's an idiot in those games. Like, he's really fucking dumb. Like, in the original cartoons, he invented some shit, and sometimes he would fuck up, but he wasn't like that dumb.
Okay. Goofy was always kind of dumb though.
Not the level of brain dead that he is in Kingdom Hearts. But I guess if you're in Kingdom Hearts, that'll just naturally happen. Like, your brain is trying to protect itself,
Oh.
so it blocks all incoming information, and you just kind of go
Weird.
into a coma, brain activity wise.
By the way, I love that the cord from the back of DJ's, I don't know what it is, fan or something like that, looks like it leads up into Mary's mic for a second there. I was like, oh, that's neat. That's all I have to say. Thank you, folks.
Yeah, nobody
that's
else can
been
see that,
out
'cause
me.
that they're not arranged like that.
Yeah,
on mine.
it's not arranged for me.
Fuck, I
No,
forgot
me
about
neither.
Yeah. Looked like it. God damn it. It looks so perfect. It looked like the cord
Are you
led right.
talking about
Yeah.
that thing?
Looks like it leads right. Anyway. Now, you can't see what I'm seeing, but you
No.
know what I'm talking about. It leads right into Mary's
You know we do an
cord.
audio version of this too, right?
Of course we do. We've always taken everything so professionally serious regards to making sure our viewers can see everything, like me holding up this can of Bang right now.
Great.
Bang. Use promo code
Patent
ROMS.
pending.
Delicious. All right. Mary, tell me about some games you played. Friendo.
I mean, I meant to play more, and I have been playing this cell phone game that I might talk about next week.
Okay.
But I'll spare you guys this week because it's fun. And it's a little too similar to like a lot of other games I've played, so I don't know how useful it would be to talk about it. But I spent a lot of time doing 4th of July shit with family.
That's nice.
All of Gary's family went over to his parents' house, including his younger brother, who brought like 2 feral kittens with him on
my
the
goodness.
plane. And now we
Oh,
have one of those
boy.
kittens, which
Awesome.
also like that I have less video game time now because I'm watching him constantly. But I did manage to totally finish the game Bloodstained, Ritual of the Night. I got all of the fucking achievements in that game.
Nice.
Wow.
I had to like craft or find all of the items, period. And that took a long time. That was definitely the most pain in the ass part of the game. And since when I was first playing it, I missed out on an extra ending. So I had to do a new game plus, and I played it on hard, which was not hard at all with all of the shit that I had unlocked.
Oh, sure, I bet.
Yeah. So I guess I'll eventually come back to that whenever the DLC comes out, because they are bringing out like a kind of a randomizer mode. So that might be pretty neat.
Yeah, that's
People
cool.
generally liked that game, right?
Yeah.
It was a
Oh,
good
Steve.
release. Did you get
Oh,
the
Steve.
Did you get that like steelbook edition? Because that steelbook looks really fucking cool.
It does look cool. I think it was just like a Best Buy exclusive, as far as I know. And I just bought it on Steam, so and apparently the PC version is the way to go, because all other versions of
Huh.
that game do
Yeah,
not
that's what I heard
run
too.
great. So
In particular, the Switch version, right, is supposed to run like shit.
Weird.
yeah. Yeah, I almost bought the Switch version,
Mm.
and it's a good thing I wanted to play that game a week before because the Switch version came out a week later. So, yeah, impatience
isn't
paid off for once.
That is a nice
I
looking steelbook, man. Wow.
Yeah, it looks very cool, like holographic and black and everything. It's fancy. Um, Impatience did not pay off for me on another game that
Oh,
I got
no.
this week. I paid $40 for Senran
Yes.
Kagura Peach Ball,
What
and
the
Yes.
it was
fuck
a
are you two
mistake.
doing?
It was
It was
not
a
a mistake.
Yeah, I mean, it probably won't be for you, DJ, but the pinball is kind of lackluster in the game, and that's the most disappointing part for me. Like, the Senran Kagura wrapper is fine. Like, I'm fine with it. I'm not super into those games. Like, I played the cooking, like, music game that came out a while
Bon
ago.
Appetit. It was
Yes.
Bon Appetit.
Bon appetit.
Yeah, and I think I paid like $8 for that on the Vita,
Yeah.
which was perfectly fine. And if this game was $8, I would be much more happy with it because
Why would you pay
It's just-
$40? Why?
I
Switch
got up.
tax mostly.
Yeah, I don't because I'm dumb. I got caught up in the hype. And then the day I bought it, I was like, "Oh shit, Dragon Quest Builders 2 comes out on Friday." And I was like, I should not have bought this game. I should have paid for the good game that I know I would have actually definitely liked. But oh well, whatever. The next Switch game I'm buying is going to be the new Fire Emblem, and I'll get Dragon Quest eventually when it goes on sale. And actually, there's a bunch of DLC coming out for Dragon Quest Builders 2 in like August or whatever. So that I actually want to get that lets you customize your character because right now you can't really do much of that. But anyway, Senran Kagura, the main issue I have is that there are only 2 real tables in this. There are variations of these tables, like
Oh, okay.
like for one of the tables, it's set in an amusement park, and there are different times of days that you can play it in that affects nothing other than how it looks. For the other table, which is kind of like Japanese yokai kind of themed, and it plays a neat version of Sakura Sakura on the background music, which I appreciated. That goes through different seasons, so you can play it like in winter or fall, and that'll change up like the color of the trees and shit like that, which is not much. Like, it doesn't add any extra missions or shots or anything. And for the tables overall, the shots are all fairly easy. You can slow down and cradle the ball, but you kind of don't really need to. You can just play it like you're. It's just super easy.
What's that game? Pinball Effects, which was pretty easy
Yes,
on the
yeah.
PC.
It's similar to that. You can theoretically drain a ball much more. I'd say a little bit easier than Pinball Effects, but overall it's very simple. The shots are very simple. The layouts for the shots between the 2 tables are very similar. The basic areas of the table that you need to hit are pretty much the same. Like, there's not a wide variety. And there are some little extra bonus mini games that you can play in the table, but they all basically kind of play the same. There's a bunch of shit all over this tiny field, and hit all the shit to get points.
Gross.
Like, it's not anything super complicated. And just the actual mission flow of the tables, you basically build up enough points by doing missions displayed on the right hand side to enable like sexy challenge mode. And then
Good.
once sexy
What
challenge
happens?
mode is enabled, you try and aim the ball and bop the lady in the center of the
Good.
table. That's what they call it.
Alright.
Yeah, we're just bopping.
Just
Yeah.
banging, you know? I get you. All right.
And then you get to one of those little mini games where it's just a much smaller field. You have these banana style flippers, which I haven't they don't really use on pinball tables anymore. So I thought that was kind of neat. They have like a little hook in the middle.
Really?
Huh. Yeah, a few tables use them, but not very many. Like I think Sea Witch had them,
Really?
which is a cool table. But yeah, it's very basic. And once you do the sexy challenge, like the third time, you've basically beat the table, and then you go on to the next story mode.
Is
There,
that when the lady undresses?
yes, yeah, they're naked, and
Yeah,
then they're like,
okay.
"Oh, I gotta cover my parts. I'm so embarrassed."
What are the like? So in Bon Appetit, they had lots of like dish arrangements. Like the lady would fall into a dish, and then like there'd be whipped cream, or they'd be on a banana boat float, like an ice cream banana float or something. There any pinball references? Like is one holding a flipper or something? No,
No,
they're just like
yeah,
they just fall over, dude. That's a shame.
yeah, and it seems like there's like one pose for per character, maybe even less. I haven't gone through every single character's story mode yet. There are 5 different characters, and each character has their own story mode with 5 stages.
Wow.
And as you go through and unlock, there'll sometimes be like a visual novel or whatever. There'll be like a full screen splash like artwork. So I was going through Riona's story, and after I converted Asuka back from being a bunny girl, she remembered the time Riona put her through shamelessness training, and that was weird. They
Yep.
dressed up as dogs, wearing bikinis,
Whoa.
and went down on all fours in front of a convenience store in public. So I got a nice fancy 2D artwork of that scene, and
That's
I was
good.
like, okay. But yeah, like the Senran Kagura part seems fine. Like you're unlocking a lot of different outfits and like hairstyles and shit, but the actual pinball part that you have to play is not as, it doesn't seem like as much effort went into that as
Oh, really?
everything else in the
Right,
game.
you would have
Huh.
guessed. Yep.
What? I'm so surprised.
Well, there
That
is one small feature that I really like in this game that I wish were in other pinball games, and that is the use of HD rumble.
Yeah.
Yeah,
HD
no,
Rumble.
no, no,
HD
I
rumble.
swear. The HD rumble works. It feels like you can feel like the ball traveling down
feel
the table, like and up
Wow.
through ramps and stuff. It feels almost like you're playing a real table in that way, and it is pretty
Oh, that's
cool. Yeah, it has some like it puts some more weight behind the actual pinball, and it makes, even though the physics aren't fantastic, but with
Mm.
the addition of that HD rumble, it feels a little more natural. But yeah, like that was the only super positive thing that I came away from after playing that game. Like that was pretty neat. The stickers I got included in the physical
Awesome.
version were pretty
Do
neat.
you have them on you right now?
No, they're
Boo.
in my media case thingy back in the background. But that was it was a cool bonus that it has an actual manual and stickers. That didn't make it worth $40, but oh well. But yeah, overall, it's like not
Okay.
a bad game. It's not bad, but it's definitely not worth $40. And I kind of have buyer's remorse. Like I should have just waited. Those games go on sale for pretty cheap. I don't
You could
really need the
probably-
instruction manual and stickers.
I bet you could flip it at a GameStop or something. Will a GameStop take that? What is it rated? And T14 or?
It's probably M, but they take. It's not like it's AO or whatever. They sold the game, so
AO.
yeah, I
Yeah.
might do that. I might just give them the
It's a Switch game,
cartridge
so
and
they'll
keep
give you
everything
most
else.
of your money back. Yeah. Gotta keep those stickers.
Yeah, like they don't ask for that.
Come
All
on.
they ask is for the cart. So maybe
Got
I
the
will do
stickers.
that. That actually is a pretty good idea. Fuck it. I
Do
gotta
it.
look up the trade-in value now, I
Yeah.
guess. Yeah. It's probably only $5. They know
well.
better.
You already feel like you want to get rid of it. $5 is better than nothing, No.
Yeah. Well, if it's that low of an amount, I may as well just fucking keep it. I don't know. Whatever. I'll look it up. I'll look it up when one of y'all is talking so I can figure it out. Because I'm terrible. But yeah, other than that and all the phone game bullshit I always play every day, I got another game on Game
Ooh.
Pass, Time Spinner, just very recently got added, like last week, I
Yeah.
think. And that is a Metroidvania game,
Oh, wow.
super heavily influenced by Symphony of the Night, to that game's detriment, I think,
Oh,
because a lot of the songs and the backgrounds and everything basically look almost exactly like Symphony of the Night, but the story and the characters and the enemies don't. They have
Huh.
kind of their own individual style. And I feel like that kind of mishmash makes the game not feel very cohesive
Okay.
altogether. Like the whole gimmick is that you play as this girl, Lunai, who needs to go back in time to save her tribe. And they don't even really do that much with the whole time travel gimmick. Like,
Yeah.
there's a button you can hit at any point to stop time, but the only way it's used is occasionally you'll need to freeze an enemy so you can platform up to an area. And it doesn't even do that very often. It's just like, oh, I've been playing for an hour and I get to a room that has a ledge and I can't get up there. But wait, I just got the double jump. So let me leave the room after I had killed all the enemies, come back in, see if an enemy gets close enough to the ledge, and then freeze time. And that's like the only puzzle element that has shown up so far in the game. Like, yeah, there are breakable walls. I found like a familiar behind one of those breakable walls. But most of the time, it's just like HP up or MP up. Like, it's not very rewarding, like finding secrets in this game either. And yeah, like I appreciate the story. I think that it has a much better story than the game like Bloodstained. There's a lot more to it, and you learn a lot of stuff that makes other things make sense that happens by finding like secret notes. But overall, just I kind of wish it leaned more into its own identity than trying to be like a Symphony of the Night type game. Like, it's still mainly just Symphony of the Night, like with a different story. And just there are direct tracks that sound almost exactly like songs in Symphony of the Night. Like, I thought Bloodstained was bad about it, but there's a harpsichord piece in this game that sounds exactly like I wrote the name of the song down because I'm terrible with it.
That's always so disconcerting. I've had that in a few games over the years, and it's always like, wait, is this that song from that game? Wait, yeah, and like it just pulls you completely out of it. It's really, yeah, I can appreciate how that can be disassociative.
Yeah, and that song was a wood carving partitia, and it sounds exactly like the same in this game. And I guess it kind of makes sense because this game was also a Kickstarter, and it has the same thing that Bloodstained has, where they have backer portraits in the castle. So it's just, yeah, it's come up with better Kickstarter rewards, like putting your pets in the game. That was pretty good, but and that's another weird thing that feels uncohesive about this game. Like, there are quests in it that are basically like fetch quests for NPCs in the game. And when you complete a quest, the story is all very serious. It's about families and death and trying to correct like wrongs. And then you'll beat a quest and it'll be like, got some tail, after you delivered these wyvern tails for people to eat. And I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, what? The game feels kind of all over the place. Yeah. And it tries to be all cheeky, or like they talk about fucking quite a bit in the game too.
Great.
For like no
Yeah,
good reason. Like, I don't I don't know, just some of the writing, like the overall plot is interesting, but the way it's delivered is not the greatest. It, this sounds mean, but it really still feels like a fan game. It doesn't. I don't know. I just wish they had more time to like work on it and come up with some more original ideas. Because they don't really utilize the whole gimmick of being able to fuck with time whatsoever, and it's just kind of disappointing. Like, I'm still gonna beat it. I'm like 87% of the way through, and if I didn't have this kit in here, I'm pretty sure I would have beaten it already.
That's fair.
But he's a lot of work.
High maintenance.
Oh god, he's gonna fall down right now. Just a second.
No kidding.
But yeah, overall it's fine. I like Metroidvanias. The control is responsive. It's pretty fast. But yeah, it's just and it's also there's just not enough to it overall. I don't.
Okay. Huh. Well, that's a
So
shame.
yeah,
That's
yeah.
a shame.
I mean, maybe when I beat it, the strength of the storyline or the plot will make up for some of this, but I kind of doubt it at this point. Like, even the
Probably not.
bosses. People complain about the bosses in Bloodstained. These are even simpler and more boring. Like, I don't know. Okay, that's enough. I was just super disappointed in it because a lot of people had it on their Game of the Year lists last year, so I was expecting more, I guess.
Well, we've come to the part of the show I know we all have been preparing for, talking and thinking about over the last few weeks. Jake, we're here to talk to you about World of Warcraft.
That's a video
What
game.
are you doing, buddy?
What am I doing? I'm playing World of Warcraft.
We're here for an intervention, Jake. We think you're losing control of your life. We think
Oh, I knew that a long time ago.
World of
is nothing
Warcraft
new.
is a dangerous road. It's a highly addictive substance.
I don't know about that.
Okay. So,
Maybe this man has seen the light.
I have seen. I've gone a couple of days without playing World of Warcraft. Like, it's not that addictive.
Free. So you're buying a monthly sub, right? Do you get
So
like everything? Did you
okay.
buy at what's your method of buying?
Let me. I'll just tell you how I got into it, and that'll explain it.
We'll tell you how we got
So
here first.
there's a free trial, and that goes from level. I think it goes all the way up to level 20, and you can't play anymore for free at 20. And then I was like, okay, fuck it, I'm gonna buy a month of a sub, just play it. And then my friend that I play video games with was like, hey, here's the latest expansion. I am a horrible enabler.
Oh, okay.
So he bought me the latest expansion just kind of out of the blue. And that gives you you can either start a new character or complete new character right at level 110, or you can boost an existing character to 110 and then go start that content, which is what I did. And went and did all of the level cap is now 120, so I took a level. I took my character from 110 to 120. And I'm almost done with the content from the expansion. This is the first time I've ever played WoW, actually, and people in our voice chat were like blown away that I was asking these really stupid basic questions, like where do I sell shit?
Yeah, that's a good point. I mean, yeah, like completely fresh. Like,
Like if I had played that in college, I would not have graduated college. Let's just put it that way.
Yeah.
And I came scarily close to playing World of Warcraft in college. I think I got to the character creator, and then I was like, nope, I'm good. I got distracted and never went back to it. I uninstalled it, which is probably for the best.
What are you playing? Warrior?
I'm playing a warrior. Yes.
Yeah.
Arms.
What race?
Blood elf.
Okay. I like it. All right. I dig it. That's cool. Male or female?
Male.
What's your
I sneezed.
What-
Was it like an extreme disgusted
Yeah,
shake?
that's what I thought it was. I thought they were
sneeze.
like, okay, come on.
Yep.
So are you enjoying the new stuff? What is it? Battle for Azeroth is the newest expansion.
None of this it doesn't mean anything to me. Like none of the lore or anything. They're like, hey, this big thing happened. I'm like, okay. Like I don't fucking know the backstory of any of these characters. I know
Oh,
that one
God.
lady is like super evil.
Sylvanas, yeah.
Yeah, her.
Sylvanas, yeah.
And the rest of the horde dealers are like, yeah, they're just like, nah. They don't
Nah.
like her. Leaders. I say dealers?
Like-
Leaders.
Dealers. It's actually all a card game. I don't know if you knew this. It's
Yeah.
actually Gwent. You're playing Gwent.
I
Decide.
glanced at the chat and it took over my brain for a second.
Okay.
But I'm not completely done, so don't reference anything at the very end.
I have no idea. I didn't play Battle. I stopped at. Oh God. The one before Battle for Azeroth. That's the last expansion I played.
I have
Legion?
no idea what
Pretty
that is.
recent.
Legion. That's it. Okay. I'm trying to think of questions I could ask you. It's so weird to have somebody so fresh to World of Warcraft.
Sarah, is is there a benefit to being like a race, like say Blood Elf? What's Blood Elf do?
I just picked a race.
No.
there is
I was just
like racials.
Yeah, I don't know. I just picked one. And then I picked a warrior, and I was like, I'm just gonna be super basic and just pick a warrior and just go do this.
Okay, I do have a question, and it's a good
Okay.
one. When World of Warcraft Classic come out, could
No.
we convince you to play
Nope.
some Classic
No.
just to see? I would just be interested,
Nope.
just for a minute.
No. Considering I've been playing a lot of this with someone who's been playing World of Warcraft on and off since it started, and he's like, "Don't fucking play vanilla. It was terrible. All of this, all these changes were made for good reasons, and people who like it are insane."
Okay.
I was like, "Okay, that's good enough reason for me. I never plan on playing Classic anyways." But hearing him say that was, I trust his opinion on this stuff.
Sure.
I'm like,
I
no, I'm
trust
good.
him too. He certainly knows his stuff, but at the same time, I would just be curious to see your opinion as somebody that's started at the end or started at like 20 years in and going back to the original stuff and seeing what you
I'm
your
good.
raw reaction just for a stream maybe.
Nah, I'm alright.
Gotta give it you for a little snap. I don't know. Fuck. Okay. I have no other questions. I yield the floor. Anyone else?
How long do you think you're gonna play this? How long are you gonna keep your sub up?
I have another like 2 weeks on the sub, another week or two, maybe. I don't know. We'll find out then. If I want to re-up or
Okay.
not.
Yeah, like I
Yeah.
played some of it when it first came out, and I was playing with a friend, and I think Burning Crusade is as far as I got.
Okay.
Like the first expansion. That was it. I was like, I'm done.
Okay.
I don't care. She was all into raiding, and I was like, I don't have time for that shit. So
It's true.
I don't care enough about World of Warcraft to get raid ready and all this poop.
Some of
So
my greatest regrets in life have come from raiding in World of Warcraft, so I can totally appreciate you not wanting to do that. So, yeah, that's cool. You run a dungeon yet? You run any kind of?
I
dungeon?
ran one dungeon.
Okay.
Yep.
You get a mount yet? Are you riding on what
Yep,
you riding?
We got a mount. It's just the whatever the one everybody gets for the expansion, I think, or something.
Don't have a fancy mount.
No.
Can I convince you to start Heroes of the Storm
Nope.
to get
Yes.
the Heroes of the Storm
Yes.
horse mount? Okay. Yeah. Okay. You could play Hearthstone and get the card, the giant flying card mount, if you wanted. That's
I have a baby Winston as a pet.
Oh.
I don't actually like.
Great.
He's on the account. I don't actually use it because that's stupid. But I have it.
Ah.
So you should battle some.
I saw that. I was like, okay, whatever. Fucking fine.
Yeah.
Hey, you bought Overwatch. It's like, yeah, and I wish I hadn't. I could have used that $40 on something else.
Damn.
At least you
Okay.
didn't buy Peach
Yeah.
Ball.
That's
Peach
true.
Ball's a better buy.
That's true. Oh, okay. It's better than Overwatch. Come on now.
Will
Not
you
be-
move
let's not
on
be
to another
crazy.
MMO after? I hear
I
Final
kind
Fantasy
of
14.
want to go back and pick up my Elder Scrolls Online character
Okay.
because this is like the most time I've ever put into an MMO, like ever. I took a character from nothing to level 10 in ESO, and that was it. And he is sitting in the hub world, like the hub area, in like the starter area, still just chilling, and has been
Kinda
for
interesting
several years now.
RuneScape.
What? Sorry?
Come play some RuneScape.
No.
It's on mobile phones now.
Nope.
I didn't mention that, but I did download that and start a character.
That sucks.
I'm just so I like. I feel like everyone has played World of Warcraft, but okay.
I
like
haven't.
it's so weird to like be around people that didn't play a lot of World of Warcraft. Okay,
So
interesting.
my problem is if I'm like my problem is I don't play video games for more than like 3 hours a session tops usually.
Yeah.
And like I was on vacation this whole last week, and there was a day or two there that I just kind of
Yeah.
I just leveled, and I felt like I should be doing other things. Like after an hour or two, it's like, oh, I should get up and go do something else. Like that weird feeling. And
Yeah. It's
people are like,
what
oh,
I'm
it's just
with,
throw on a
like-
podcast or something. I can't do that. Like, if I'm going to listen to a podcast, I'm going to listen to the podcast. I'm not going to do something else while the podcast just plays in the back and I maybe absorb it like a sponge.
Sure.
My brain doesn't work like that. So if I'm leveling, I have that going and that's it. Maybe some music. And that's hard to hold my attention for a while. Or for longer than a few hours at a time.
Huh. I mean, like I get that sometimes. I think I struggle with that with MMOs now more than any other kind of game. Like it just feels like relentless in a way. Like you got to keep up with it, and you just so much to do that I do appreciate your thought of like I should be doing something else. Because I think MMOs they make you feel that probably more than anything else. Because
Yeah.
they do take a lot of time commitment. They can be very fun though. Like I still enjoy World of Warcraft, even if it is in a weird place right now. I still enjoy what I've played of it. So.
I got like a tour of all of like the old places in WoW.
Oh, okay.
Like all the stuff that was there from like the start. And holy shit, talk about time capsule. Like
Yeah.
since nobody uses that,
They've not
nobody uses
changed.
that stuff anymore. They'd never updated it. So
Yep.
like
Wow.
it looks super fucking old. It's just like, did I just go back to 2005? Like, what is this? This is crazy.
Especially like I remember going to some of the character models and they're like so old. They're like 3 pixels. It's crazy. It's like, oh my god. That's why I would want you to play vanilla, just to show you. Just to have your reaction to go like, here's the starting area you played or something like that. So you can go like, man, this looks really old. I think that'd be the most fun part, but I can appreciate you not wanting to get into vanilla. That's the dark place. That's cool though. I'm glad.
Yeah,
you're
I see.
enjoying
I
World of
don't
Warcraft.
have any of the nostalgia for the original World of Warcraft, so I'm playing the version of World of Warcraft that has been finely tuned over 15 years and improved upon. And I don't want to go play what this was originally.
Yeah.
No, thank you.
Well, that's true. Nostalgia. It is a sweet nostalgia, certainly for people that played vanilla. But
Can
cool. I'm
we
glad you
remember?
enjoyed World of Warcraft.
Can we remember if Todd Howard or Bethesda said anything about Elder Scrolls Online at E3?
There was like a whole
Yes,
I can't
section.
remember.
Dragons
Yeah,
are
it
coming
was
to
about
Elder Scrolls.
dragons. Okay.
Remember, there was a cat man. He's fighting a big dragon. Remember
Yeah,
that?
because they're doing their
Oh,
their
sure.
Elsewhere expansion. I think is coming up,
Elsewhere.
which is where all the Khajiit are from.
Catman. You play anything else? See another game here.
I did, yeah. I just bought a copy of a game called Squad, which
Squad?
is a it's it's a little hard to describe. It's like the middle point between like an arcade shooter and like milsim simulator. Like it lies between, say, like one of the original Battlefield games and like Arma. It's that middle point.
Sure.
So the games are really it's built off of a mod for Battlefield 2 called Project Reality. Like that used to be a thing that it ran for a really long time as just a mod, and that eventually they kind of outgrew the engine because they were using the fucking Battlefield 2 engine, and they eventually outgrew it, and then they were like, you know what, let's just make a game, and we're just gonna make this but in a new engine basically, and that's what they did, and that game is pretty fun. And the games are really long, and there's a good chance that your squad might not do anything. Because I still had a really good time though. I was playing last night on a server that was advertised as learning player friendly, like for new people, like active admins. I was like, all right, cool. 120 ping, that's not terrible. We'll play on there. And we got I got on a squad with our squad leader was Australian, and he was an angry Australian. I shouldn't say angry. Let's salty. Let's put it that way. He had an attitude.
Salted.
Put it that way.
Okay.
Funny guy though. And we were just hoofing it around this map as things happen. We're like, oh shit, we should probably go this way. And I think we shot at a house for fun at some point because it was like the end of the game. We hadn't ran into anybody, so we just lit up a house with rockets and stuff for fun, and then that eventually gave our position away, and then we got ambushed and we died, and then the match was over. But that was like 45 minutes of just walking around bullshitting and listening to this Australian guy be blown away that somebody could say a phrase, a very Australian phrase, accurately with the
crikey, mate.
No, not that one.
Probably shrimp on the Barbie.
Nope.
It's
Swing
that
and a
Talk
miss.
about the gum trees or whatever.
Nope.
Okay, I know that one.
But yeah, it's in the chat. If you're watching, if you're watching the Twitch
I
VOD of this,
see.
it is it's right there. But there was we played a couple other matches on the same server, and those went a lot better. And that game's a good time. Like it's a good time if you're into that kind of dynamic, I guess. If you're down to like play a realistic, like, hey, you might not actually do fucking anything for this entire match, just like real war. Like you might go out there and not fire your fucking gun at anybody.
Is that fun?
It kind of is, actually. Because you don't know, you might run into people. You might run into a group and you might have a big ass firefight, and then so there's always something that could happen, you know. And it's cool to see it's cool to see a lot of like the coordination, and people are down to, someone wants to be team leader. So there's one person who's commanding like 5 or 6 different squads of 10 people, So kind of like why I liked PlanetSide when I was playing with an outfit in PlanetSide.
Right.
But this is a little more
Right,
serious than that. Because all of the damage models and stuff are super realistic and stuff too. So it's like you get shot twice, you're dead. Like that kind of thing.
There's no respawn.
There you can get revived, like
Sure.
by pretty much anybody who has a field kit.
Sure.
They can patch up your wounds and stuff, but then you have to heal yourself, or there are dedicated medics who can. I guess they can probably do that faster because the process of reviving somebody with your own field kit takes like 30 seconds. Like sit there and he does all the animations and stuff, like pulls out the bandage, puts the bandage on, puts pressure on the thing, and yeah.
Huh. Neat.
Then there's all these vehicles because it's basically Battlefield 2, just a new version of Battlefield 2 with a bunch of mods.
But there's like no respawn.
No, there is yes.
There is a respawn.
You can either wait for someone to come and revive you, or you can give up and cost your team a ticket and respawn.
It's tickets.
Oh.
Yeah. And
Yeah, I was just curious because you mentioned how like a lot of the time you didn't even see anyone. So is the ticket count extremely low? Are the maps just so
the maps
big
are
that
huge.
you've wandered off
The maps
course?
are massive. The maps are like
Okay. Cool.
take a Battlefield 2 map and multiply it by like 4. So we're talking like those old Battlefield 2 maps, the big ones.
Right.
Like they are huge. But yeah, there's other stuff you can do other than just go shooting people. Like there's a whole bunch of stuff where you can go. You're driving logistics trucks around and you're delivering ammo to forward operating bases that were built. You can build a operating base wherever. Basically, your squad leader shows up and says like, "Hey, we're building this thing. We're gonna go. Here's the plan: is we're going north to this point. We're gonna establish a base there, and then we're gonna try to flank around and take these 2 points." That's what each squad kind of does. This kind of comes up with something. If there's not somebody leading everybody.
So is the win condition for like a game just whoever controls the most points at the end of some set amount of time, or
So
what? How do you win?
It's a ticket system. So if you when you die, you lose. Your team loses a ticket. And I believe if you also don't have any of the points, your tickets start decreasing fast. And it's whoever runs out of the tickets first loses.
Okay.
Yeah. And these are like probably like 40 versus 40 matches. So maps are, yeah, like I said, maps are big, all that shit. There's more to do than just shooting. Like information helps a lot.
Yeah.
So if you can probably make a scout squad that just goes around and tries to scout out positions and then phones them into the other squads. Like we coordinated an attack on a point with our armor squad who had like tanks and APCs and shit. And we saw them on the map all ready to go. And then our squad leader talked to them. Was like, "Hey, are you guys ready to hit this point?" And like, yeah. And like, okay, everybody stack up. We're doing this. Let's go.
Wow, that's really cool. I'm looking at some video
So
now.
wait,
Yeah, seems very
now
like
I'm
armor.
even more. Like, how many squads are
Like
in
5.
a team? Like, how many teams are okay?
Like 5
and
or
how
6.
many teams are participating?
2.
Okay. I'm just trying to. How does this all work or whatever?
So the squads are like 9 people tops, I think.
Okay. And then there's 5 squads, so probably like 45 versus 45.
Yeah, it's it depends on the server, the player count.
Right.
So,
Okay.
but it's kind of funny to see how many like little weird oddities from Battlefield 2 made it from Battlefield 2 to the mod and then into this game, just because it's a thing from Battlefield that was in like in the mod that everybody just kind of liked. Like the all chat. Your team, your team's all chat is blue. The other team's all chat is red. That's how it was in Battlefield 1942. That's how it was in Battlefield Vietnam, and then Battlefield 2, and yeah, little things like that. You see little things like that pop up, like
Little touches, sure.
the map UI is very Battlefield 2 esque. The spawn menu is very much the same.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
it sounds like it's kind of a more serious game, which it kind of is, but people are still down to goof off a little bit. Last night I was in a squad where someone was like, "Hey, everybody, just pick the unarmed loadout, and we're just gonna go run at them. Like, they can't shoot us. There are rules." Something like that.
There are rules.
And he's like, "Here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna all get the unarmed loadout, and then we're just gonna run at them and yell 'No justice, no peace' over our voice comms." And that lasted about a couple minutes before before the squad leader kicked like 6 people who had the unarmed loadout.
Wow.
Including me, because that was pretty fun actually. We were just outside the base because you hold your hand up and we were just going, "No justice, no peace," and just for fun, because why the fuck not? It's a video game at the end of the day.
Yeah.
People are just goofing around. Admins didn't like that. Somebody on our team called the admins. It was like, and the admins popped in. They were like, "Hey, get guns and play the game." Yeah, it's like, aw.
Play
We
your
have
last.
fun here. This is real. Kind of fun. War's not fun.
I have a clip on my YouTube channel of that from last night. That was pretty fucking funny. And
cool.
Just talking about the radio thing, because there's local voice comms, so people around you can hear you, including the enemy. So if there's your local comms, your squad comms, which is your radio, and that you can hear anybody in your squad over the radio from anywhere. And then there's like global voice chat, which don't use that. You'll get yelled at if you use that. So we were just running around using the local voice comms, just yelling, "No justice, no peace. No justice, no peace." And I think we did manage to find some enemies, and they hesitated for a second. They're like, "What the fuck is going on?" And then of course they shot all of us, and then our squad leader kicked us out.
Oh, God, that's really funny.
And you can hear shit that's going on around someone over their radio. So like if they're in a gunfight and they're on their radio, you can hear the gunshots in the background over their radio.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's pretty awesome.
Okay, that's actually good.
Like explosions and shit. So you can hear if you're drowning out somebody accidentally. Like if you're suppressing, it's like I was a machine gunner and I'm suppressing this thing, and so if I hear over the radio, somebody's like, "Whoa, boom, 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 boom," in the background. I was like, "Oh, I should probably stop firing when they're talking, so that they can actually effectively communicate."
It's like you're in the trenches and you're just like everything's really loud and you're screaming and
the sound is fucking amazing. The guns sound incredible. Explosions are awesome. Just the stuff off in the distance sounds great. Like it's not a Battlefield game, but they've continued the trend of those kinds of games having excellent sound.
Cool. That sounds like a good time. Yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. Oh, cool. All right. Anything else you want to say on it? Or
nope, that was it, man.
I can move on to DJ then, sir.
Hi.
How do you feel about Baba? Is Baba you?
Baba is Baba? That does not work.
But I thought Baba is you. Baba not you?
That will work. If you write Baba is you and then Baba is win, then you win. Baba is you is a great...
What?
It's a very good puzzler. It's got a bunch of levels where it just teaches you a bunch of stuff with just fucking around with simple phrases like a start, a middle clause, and an end clause. And it starts with something very simple like flag is win and Baba is you. And then you have to just touch the flag. But then it starts increasing with things like wall is stop, so you can't get through the wall. And then it starts including stuff like other items like a moon or a little extra buddy called
Huh.
KK. And then it does stuff like belt is shift or KK is lava or water is sink. And they just include so many different not just phrases but like words, just lots of different words that you can fuck around with in the game. And it seems like by and large the creator has like made sure that whatever you try and work into tends to work. It's a very fun game to like start puzzling over. You can get through stuff quite quickly at the start and then hit a wall very quickly. But once you start getting into the like understanding things a lot better, you can start running through them a lot better as well.
Huh.
Um,
So you're like
the biggest,
developing mechanics, right? Like that
It's
you're
almost
setting
like
up.
programming or
Yeah.
something. You're
yes,
manipulating
it's
a
a
lot
little
of variables.
Absolutely. Yeah. It sounds like it.
yeah, it's very basic programming and stuff, and then you start having to deal with gimmicks and how things work. Like, for example, you have flaggers win, but flaggers passed some lava, so you need to write something like flaggers push to break the sentence that Baba is melt, or because lava is hot. So you need to find a way to break Baba is melt, so Baba can go through that. But then if flag is push and flag is win, you can't physically touch the flag. You have to be on the same square. So you have to break flag as push. There's a lot of weird scenarios on finding the answers to levels. That is
Huh.
A,
That's neat.
understanding the phrases you need.
Mhm.
B, figuring out how they fit into the space that they've given you. And then C, performing the actions to get to the end result that you require.
Huh.
Yeah, I suggest if it's on sale again at some point, someone should really get it. It's not exploratory puzzling like The Witness or
Hmm.
something, where you just sort of like stumble and do line puzzles and then hear something and go, "Oh, these noises are making something." It's very much what Mary said, kind of programmy and just playing with stuff, figuring out what each phrase does, how the phrases interact with things, and then applying said phrases into solving the puzzle at hand.
Huh. Okay.
Me and my fiance were like playing this quite a lot during my holiday in America. And yeah, we were spending like a good hour to 2 hours on levels in the later levels. It can get really tricksy, but also most of the
Trixie.
time we knew what we needed to do. It was just getting the phrase in the right way or like getting
Sure.
Baba to the end destination.
Get Baba to
Which
win.
is yeah, Baba needs to win.
I like
Sometimes
it so much.
Baba is win. If Baba is you and Baba is win, then that's a good winning scenario.
It's a good day for Baba.
It's a good day for Baba. Yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah, we're very near the end game where it's like we're just taking like an hour per level, just trying to figure out what the fuck to do. So for example, I'm up at this level where the flag is roughly in the middle, behind some walls, and then you have to make there's about 3 flags. You have to make flag as win. Flag and win is in like this walled zone, and you have to push is
Oh,
down
sure.
there. But to get is out, you have to make Baba as fall into this little cavern, and then you can
Oh
also make
no.
flag as push and flag as pull. So you have to find a way to make the flags pull. You have to pull the flags upwards so you can climb
Oh
back
no.
up with the word is, and then push is down. But then you also have to
Sounds
remove
like
the sentences flag as push and flag as pull so you can touch the flags. It's really tricksy.
this sounds like pig Latin you're saying to me. Like you gotta push the
Yeah.
yes down to go up to no.
Yeah,
Like what? What?
exactly. Yeah, it's really fun. It's actually it's a really cool game.
I
Again,
think
if you find a
it would just piss me off. Like I would get mad. I don't.
Yeah,
I don't
the
know.
fiance got very mad at some scenarios. There was one puzzle where like it expected you to know something, but it like never taught you something. So he spent
Mhm.
about an hour and a half and then just gave up and looked up, and like we were really pissed at the simple solution that it was.
Sure.
And it was like, hey, this should teach you before. It kind of is a bash your head against a wall scenario, but it's a lot of a logical thought process
Right.
thing of like, again, like most of the time we knew what we needed to do, what phrases we needed, and um what we needed to do specifically to get to the winning scenario. It's just how do you carry that out in the space
Absolutely.
they give you? That's the hard part.
Well, huh. I mean, that seems really neat. Yeah, I mean, I like the idea of like this being a sort of a language game, but also sort of like a program. Like it's a neat idea. It's unique, at least.
Mhm.
Say that much.
And then
Really good. Uh-huh.
there is a hint strategy guide that we've been working with
Oh, sure.
online. It actually gives you like hints, so it doesn't tell you the right
Oh, yeah.
answer. Even with like the biggest hint, it just gives you like ideas on what to try.
Yeah, I
That
like
sounds
those.
good. That
Yeah.
makes it a lot more playable for me, at
Yeah.
least. Like, I would just get pissed off and never play it again, probably, without that.
I
Yeah,
feel like that's what you want with like a puzzle game. Is like, hey, hints. Like rather than like give me the answer. Like I like the idea
yeah.
of it being.
That's why I
Um,
liked that website as well. They gave you about 4 different hints, and they were more and more push nudgy into the right direction,
push
but
nudge.
still never gave you the actual answer. You still had to figure out said answer specifically.
Like when I was playing The Witness a bunch, it ended up being, "Hey, we gotta. I just want to help me just figure this one thing out." And it's like, here's the entire answer. It's like, well, I didn't.
Yeah,
I just wanted just a little help. I just need a little. You don't need to give me the whole thing. I can get the damn thing done. It's just give me a point in the right direction. Sometimes it's the right thing. So that's cool. That's neat. You're playing Mario Maker 2, I see,
a
sir.
little bit. I was
Speaking of Baba
I
and
was in
Mario,
the US and everyone was playing it, and I was like, I should
Baba is
get this
Mario.
one because this one I'm more likely to play rather than on the Wii U. And I have not been playing it much. I'm also not very
Oh,
good at Mario, so like
sure.
it's
Yeah,
I'm scared to play
it's my
like some of
fear
the
as
harder
well.
levels that people are creating. So yeah, a lot of the easy levels are in fact very easy, especially when you go on some like the endless run where it just constantly feeds you levels. If you do that on easy, more often than not, you're gonna find titles like Connor's first world, and it's clearly like some 6-year-olds
Oh,
first world because it's like you jump over something and then there's the flag. Like
hey,
Perfect.
it's like, hey, that's all right.
Thanks,
Baba is
Connor.
Yeah, give me a free level. Like a lot of easy stuff and actually easy stuff on the easy thing. Um, Yeah, I might try medium and see how that goes. Maybe it'll actually offer interesting stuff. But there's a lot of cool levels. Like there's a logical, I think it's logical something. Logical thinking is the last level I did, and it's just a clumped up level, and you have to go through this like process of a lot of mechanics working together, like using bombs to open up power blocks, so that the
oh,
Goomba can land on the power block and hit the power block to extend to let you go further and further. And there's an X amount of time, so you actually have to kind of do that pretty quickly.
well, that's
Mario
cool.
Maker 2 is cool in how dreams for the PS4 will be cool, where it
Yeah.
allows people to be super creative.
When is Dreams coming out? I know you just mentioned
I know.
that.
Game's out already.
Dream is
I
out.
thought that was just beta.
It might as well be out then, right?
Hmm.
But I thought that was like closed beta.
Dreams for PS4 launch day. It still says 2019. It doesn't give us.
It's early
specific date.
access, technically, I guess, right now.
Whatever.
$30.
Oh, you
Yeah, I
can
don't
buy
know.
into it.
So it's out. You can pay money to get it now.
Interesting. I've heard anyway. Yeah. Okay.
'Cause what even is early
Yeah, you
access
can buy
anymore?
into it. Yeah. Yeah,
Hopefully there's
he's
an
right.
actual launch date because I feel like I didn't hear anything about that game, and
It's out.
finding out now it's
It's
out.
out
It's
now.
like
Just play it.
it's shocking. It's shocking to me that it's out. Let's just say that.
I wonder
Shocking.
when it'll be done, though.
It's a good question.
Probably never.
Yeah, I don't know.
My God, this is like already a 5 best creations of June. Like, this is like I didn't know this game was out. What? Okay.
Yeah, people have been doing a lot of work in that game. Even in like the closed beta period, people were doing a lot of good work in that.
Neat. Well, I'm glad you're enjoying
Yeah.
Mario Maker though. It seems like like as much as we talk about like dreams being neat, like I feel like Mario Maker is the thing I would actually engage with more. Like it gives you a kind of a simplified tool set to make some cool stuff rather than like giving me too much to work with. Like I feel like dreams is probably would
Yeah.
give me too much. It's too much control. Could make a blue monkey like in this thing. It's too much. Can't handle
Is
that.
that
Too
what you would make?
far.
Too far.
Why would it
God
be
did not
blue?
intend for blue monkeys. That's all I'm saying.
But yeah,
And with
I'm kind of with Mary right now in like I spent 40 quid on it because I was going through America and it's like $60. That's like 44 pounds. I'll pay it when I get home. And I kind of wish I spent that money on Fire Emblem now, which is like in a couple weeks.
sure.
Because I very much would buy that game instead. I also, the UK has a Steam sale, a Switch sale. And I
Summer
didn't
sale.
realize. Yeah, does it happen in the US as well?
No, I saw some stuff on Twitter as they're like eShop summer sale, and I'm like, oh shit, that sounds great. And then all the prices are listed in pounds, and I'm like, well, fuck me, I guess.
Fuck America, I guess.
Ma'am,
Yeah.
this is America's month, god damn it. July.
Well, like, if it helps, like, the prices are, like, very, very close to brick and mortar retail pricing, so
Oh.
you're not saving much at all.
Ugh.
Because it's digital being reduced, and the digital's already like £15 more than brick and mortar.
Wow. Well, what can you do about that? Well.
So yeah, I was just saying I bought Valkyria Chronicles there because it was pretty cheap
What?
on that sale,
The second
and
one or
the first one, and like
Okay.
I burnt out on that on the PC after about an hour, mostly because I was on the PC, I think, and I'm pretty sure that's going to be a much better Switch game where I can just stop the console at a point and then turn it back on and then be
Sure.
exactly where I was at some point. I think it'll work a lot better in that favor for the game.
Okay. I mean, I hear good things about that Valkyria Chronicles game, so and I hope you enjoy it. Sir, are you playing in fucking team fight tactics?
I am.
Oh my god.
Everyone was getting on the auto chess bandwagon while I was in the US, and I wanted to get into one, and I
League of
asked
Legends,
people,
I
and no one
know.
responded. So yeah, I chose that.
Oh my god. Okay.
It's okay. I won a game already. I've played
Hey,
quite a
good.
few, to be fair. I played about 2. It's weird, these auto chess thingies, because there's a lot of people who are like me that don't quite know the synergies and stuff, and then there's also like savage people who just
Oh,
suddenly
yeah.
have like
Monsters.
so many
yeah.
items and all of the gold, and I don't know how they do it. And they know exactly what to do and whatnot. In general, for teamfight tactics, the trick is to buy or get items to make sure you build a Goonsu's Rageblade, because
Sure.
almost everything in that game is based on your character attacking another person.
Mhm.
And the Rage Blade gives the person 3% attack speed each attack, and that stacks infinitely. So if you could just keep like stacking that, then they're gonna get more mana quicker. They're gonna possibly regain health quicker. They're gonna get shields quicker. They're gonna do their spells quicker. Yeah, it's the god tier item. So you just gotta make sure you get that in a game, and you're not bad.
So what I'm hearing is you want to play some League of Legends again, is what I'm hearing. Just from
No,
you right now, anecdotally, and just hearing you want to get back into League of Legends. You want to do some
I mean
ranked,
I'm
is what I'm hearing.
tempted. Have you seen those arcade skins? They're
I have.
pretty good.
Yeah, they're very good.
They are pretty good.
Listen, if you want to play some
Uh,
you just have to ask, and I'm there.
The thing
yeah.
is, I'm still on EU West. You're on like NA something, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. But it's also awkward because it's on the same like League of Legends client, so you have to log into basically League of Legends, and then it's like this other queue. It's not even its own separate game, or like Blizzard where
Yeah.
you have the choice to load into that game. It's just, and so it's kind of awkward seeing all these people that I used to play with like 9 years ago still playing this fucking
Yeah.
game, like hardcore.
Talking
Like
about World of
there's still
Warcraft.
hardcore play in the game. It's crazy.
Last time I logged in, I saw a person that like I was like a 60-year-old guy I used to play with in my clan, and he's still playing. He's still there. It's like you gotta be 70-something years old now, my man. Like what? All right, you still out there, huh? It's fucking crazy. Damn, not to say old people
Yeah.
can't play World of Warcraft. I'm just saying. It's like a long time. I mean, like,
Yeah, I'm very amazed they haven't like burnt out on this game
I
either.
know.
Like they're still fucking like multiple hours a day on League of Legends.
Yeah, it's just like it's crazy. Like that in World of Warcraft, like any MMO you go back to, and you're like, oh great, okay, oh my god, John's been playing this entire time. It's been 12. It's like 7 years. What are you doing, man? Like stop, just stop. Play something else. Damn. I get you, but yeah, I don't know.
Yeah,
The auto chess stuff is just. I quit Underlords. It's just not doing it for me. It's just not doing it for me at all.
I like
I
it,
just don't like.
but I'm with you. I will stop as well. It seems like there's not too much more for me to futz around with in that League of Legends one anyway. I kind of know the
Yeah.
mechanics. I kind of know things. I don't want to get to the point where I'm savage at it. I've
Yeah.
toyed with the genre. Unless something cool and specifically something that has like a recipe book inside the game for the items comes out, I'll play that one. Because fuck you if you think I'm gonna spend much more time like googling up recipes mid game because I don't know them.
Like I was playing Underlords, watching Outlander, and going like, yeah, all right, it's okay. And then I just was like, I'd rather watch this TV show than play this goddamn silly game. So at some point, I just went like, yeah, I'm just gonna watch this Outlander TV show. Lady goes back in time. So I'd rather watch that than Outlander. I mean, than Underlords. Just not doing it for me. Just doesn't have that je ne sais quoi, as they say, as the French knights in Witcher 3 would say. Je ne sais quoi.
But that's basically the only games I've been playing.
Okay. How was your trip to the United States, by the way?
It was fun. Drank a lot of Bang, which is good.
Yeah. Halfway
yeah,
done.
Show that
I'm
that
hurting.
star map. How you feeling?
Feeling not good. Not gonna lie to you. I feel like I just drank a whole like thing of sugar, like just shoved it down my throat.
Right.
I feel
Well, that's
sort
a
of
good
slimy.
thing. There's no sugar.
I know.
No sugar in that guy.
I don't like it. Help.
Only super creatine.
I feel like I just run a mile. That's all I'm saying. Okay, go ahead.
A lot of the bangs are fine. Like
A
the
lot of
cotton
bangs.
candy and the rainbow unicorn are like fucking candy. They just
Yes.
look.
Yeah.
They don't look. They smell, and they kind of just taste like actual liquid candy, which is weird because it's 0% sugar, and I don't know how to feel about that.
I don't want that.
Just don't think about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Close your eyes and think of England. That's all I have to say there.
I specifically liked Star Blast. I can't remember why, but I did like it. And then also, what was it? The Ease, which is just like
boy.
grape soda. It's just grape soda, but like it was the one that most tasted like what it should be. If you get what I'm saying, like just grape juice. Like
Grape
it
juice.
actually tasted like it. It was just normal, which doesn't usually happen with an energy drink. So I was very surprised by that.
Like, I don't drink energy drinks at all. Like, this is my I believe this is probably my first energy drink I've ever drinking in my life. Also, so I have no idea what I'm experiencing right now. If it's normal to feel like I could punch a wall for an hour, I don't like know. But we're doing all right and we're feeling good, and I'm just gonna keep drinking this. And who knows what's gonna happen later? But we'll keep it going now. You know, keep going. Just keep pushing through into the news.
Nice.
Are the cops?
What
Are the
the-
cops at your house,
The
DJ?
cops at your house.
Yeah,
I'm seeing
right?
some reds and blues. Reds and blues are flashing.
I am watching the WWE Extreme Rules kickoff, and Shinsuke Nakamura is just coming out, and he has a lot of red and blue lights flashing about. I noticed that too on my bike. Sorry.
Seemed like, I don't know. It seemed like you turn the camera around, you're in like a dance club or something like that. Don't know. Oh Lord. The news, like many dance clubs this week, is various. We got a lot of different news stories. We're gonna attempt to cover a chunk of them. Might have to push them off until next week, though.
They won't take that long.
Okay. Well, we'll
It'll
start
be
off
fast.
with the big news story. Hey, the Nintendo Switch Lite got announced. The light version of the Nintendo Switch,
Surprising nobody.
and it's
It's surprising in that like it just came out of nowhere.
yeah, like it just
Like it wasn't a direct or anything.
Okay,
It
sure.
was just like a
The announcement
like a
Yeah,
Tuesday
that was-
afternoon.
the announcement,
Yeah.
the announcement itself was a surprise, but then the thing they are
Yeah.
announcing was not a surprise.
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah,
Looks cool,
we
though.
Talked about the rumors before. It's okay.
Seems
I
like a
don't
worse
need
version
one.
of the Switch.
Yeah.
Like it just seems
It's $100 cheaper, and it's for kids pretty much because
Yeah.
it comes out like right around Pokemon time, so it makes sense. But yeah, I don't want one, even though they look neat. I don't want or need one.
the thing that kind of angered me. Like they don't have, at least from what I was reading, no HD Rumble, right? And none of the kind of the
Yeah.
motion stuff anymore.
Oh no!
And that's like
my HD Rumble.
I mean,
How will you play
sometimes
Peach
it's
Ball?
good.
How will you
but
play 1-2
yeah.
Switch? Oh, you won't because there's no detachable Joy-Cons.
Well, you can buy a set of Joy-Con
Mhm.
and then hook it up to this, which is what they apparently expect people to do. But yeah, no.
it's just I don't know. Like I like the idea of some of the Wii stuff and like porting that over to Switch, and this makes it seem more unlikely that you would see something like Wii Sports comes
Right.
to the Switch, and that's
That
you know
actually makes sense.
just a little sad, just a little tear.
Of
rolling
all
down
the
my eye is-
examples, you picked Wii Sports.
Wii Sports is fucking good, dog. Like that's a 10 out of 10 every day of the
What's
week.
the
Yeah, it's
sword
fun for like
fight?
20
Is that
minutes.
in that thing?
Wii Sports Plus is very good.
It's
I
a
like that
Walmart
resort.
demo.
Yeah, well,
The bowling is
the
bowling,
bowling
and
is
golf.
very good.
The bowling.
pretty funny.
Everyone goes to the bowling.
Yeah.
The bowling is like, listen, I play a lot of hours with my parents playing Wii Sports bowling, so it's 10 out of 10 every day of the week. Put it in the back of the box. Albie says Wii Sports 10 out of 10 every day of the week. That's good. Yeah, it just makes me like. It's just weird that they would abandon HD Rumble after it was such a big feature. But then again, like the only thing that's used it is
They
1-2
abandoned it
Switch.
after the game
That's
after the game
not-
launched.
yeah.
HD Rumble was dead on arrival, effectively.
Yeah,
Like,
barely
one game used
Pretty
it.
much
anybody
that
Like
one.
one game used
Yeah.
it.
I mean,
They say
the not being able to hook it up to a TV whatsoever is
Yeah,
more
that's
of a
weird, too.
shitty move for me. But
so. I got quite a few things about this thing. So I'm fine with this in the sense that like people who own the Switch know that the Joy-Cons are so fucking like every time you pick it up, you're picking it up with care. You're picking it up from
Yeah.
the center bit, not from those Joy-Cons, because at any moment those things will twist and break those rails. That's like the death knell for the Switch. So for kids, this is like gangbusters. I've got my fiance's friend has a kid who's saving up for a Switch, and like this might be perfect for him because he's very, very close in price to it anyway, and he's a clumsy piece. Like he will drop his 2DS
Kids
very
saving
regularly.
money for a Switch? Wow, I never heard of that before.
Yeah. So like this is perfect for him in the sense that it's not gonna break on him within like less than a month. So I'm totally fine with something like this coming out for kids. That said, stuff like hearing this is gonna have the new processor in, I think it's been confirmed this has the new like upgraded processor. Because of the size, they decreased the battery, and that's why the duration length for games is basically the same. What worries me is there's rumors the next Switch is going to have the upgraded CPU system on chip as well, but it's not going to be like a Switch Pro. It's just going to sneakily come to the market.
Yeah, I have a gamesindustry.biz article linked in the document where they talk about an interview with Doug Bowser on CNET, but at the very end of the article, there is also talk about The Verge reporting an FCC filing that shows that the Switch internals are changing, and it is getting some new guts in there. So I assume it's some of the same guts that are coming to the light. So yeah, I don't know. It's probably going to be the same price still and everything, but yeah, my Switch is old and shitty now, apparently, I guess.
So
an old Switch.
I likened this to remember the 360 days when it first came out and you had to use that like proprietary connector, and then like the HDMI 360 came out, but they weren't marketing it as a specific 360. You just had to go by model number and luck of the draw, I guess.
Just a revision.
Yeah, it's gonna be like that. It's gonna be an internal revision, and I worry about that because it seems like they're not gonna increase the graphics. They're not gonna do that. They might even reduce the fucking batteries to make it run cooler and stuff like that, and maintain the exact same runtime as the previous one to make parity. And my worry with that is this thing is gonna sell so fucking much that they're not gonna bother with a Switch Pro. They're just gonna stick with this guy, make like 2,000 more color combinations with it for like the next 8 years, and then we're gonna get on to the next Nintendo console.
Yeah, as like part of this CNET interview with Bowser, they asked him if there was going to be any more like Switch hardware for the end of the year, and he's like, "Nope, this is it. This is it for 2019." But yeah, like March 2020, who fucking knows? Apparently, they'll just be like, "Hey, we're gonna have a new console out in a couple months. Here you go." So who knows?
I doubt it. I'm pretty sure they're just gonna stick with this light, because it guaranteed this is gonna sell so much. Like any parent who doesn't have a Switch is gonna buy this because it's $100 cheaper, so you can spend that $100 on getting Pokemon for your kid, and then also they're gonna be safe with the knowledge that the kid's not gonna fucking break it within a month.
It's true. Can I make a hot take though? Just a hot take here. All the colors for this thing look bad.
I like the gray one. Gray one looks cool.
The teal one is nice too. I don't really like the yellow, but the teal is cool. I actually modded my regular DS with a teal case, so maybe I'm biased.
I think I like the Pokemon Sword and Shield
DS
edition.
Yeah, like the fat DS.
Oh yeah,
I got
Oh.
yeah. It there was like a limited edition version of Nintendogs or something that had the teal case.
Oh yeah,
and
no, I know
Nintendogs?
what you're talking about.
Yeah.
That one. Yeah.
yeah, and I just bought some Chinese ripoff case shell thingy and swapped it out. But whatever.
Games to port to Switch. Nintendogs. Get on that, somebody. Somebody get on
And
Nintendogs.
so- Here's my other thing on why it also doesn't have TV out is, as far as I can remember and tell, almost all the TV out business is in the dock. There's like a little
Yeah.
Yeah.
there's a little chip set in there that deals with it and whatnot. I honestly think that because this is a different form factor due to the screen and they made it smaller, it literally can't fit in the dock because all the buttons will start hitting
Yeah.
it and jamming. That's their excuse for saying, "Oh, no TV out." I wouldn't be surprised.
They could just sell a fucking cord with there's barely any
No.
internals anyway. Like, it's not
Yeah.
that difficult. Why don't they just do that? That makes me so mad.
You're
I would
asking
much rather
Nintendo
use
to do
cord.
something nice and easy.
It's something that
Nintendo
makes
doesn't
sense.
do
I'm gonna-
easy.
Yeah. I wouldn't be surprised if day one someone uses
Oh,
their
yeah.
modded dock with like the front cut off and whatnot.
see
And
that
it's just like,
video.
oh yeah, it works. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it
This
just
works.
works.
I
I'm just
wouldn't
like,
be
yeah.
surprised.
Plugged it in. It's fine.
Yeah.
Worked perfectly fine. Everything's good. It's like, okay, great.
Except for the fact that you then have to like play with it on the dock because the Joy-Cons don't attach.
Didn't you just say you can sync Joy-Cons to it?
Yeah,
though?
you could
You
could
can,
hook up a pro controller or whatever. It
Yeah.
would be
You can.
fine.
If you're playing, I don't know, like I don't own a Switch,
Somebody's
but
got hacked.
it strikes me as if you're using the Joy-Cons while you're playing on the TV, you're fucking up and you're doing it wrong.
No.
Okay, all right.
Joy-Cons are the best.
The real tragedy is no tabletop mode, though, right? Am I right, you guys?
Well,
Everybody loves tabletop mode at your backyard barbecue. Smack that switch down on a table.
I've actually
your
used
greasy pork
tabletop mode quite a bit
Yeah.
because I like using like a good controller while I'm playing instead of the Joy-Cons and watching TV at the same time. But now they can sell a stand. So
Mhm.
there you go.
Yeah. Look at all these possibilities. It could be a branded stand, too. You could put all kinds of different decals on it. Think of Mario.
Finally, a place for my Senran Kagura stickers.
Great. Yep. That's it.
The horror. The horror. Well, all right. Speaking of Pokemon, though, we can talk about that whole Pokemon thing real quick, and that they're saying they can no longer guarantee Pokemon games can all the Pokemon. We're not gonna have all the Pokemon in the next Pokemon game.
Wait, what? Do you have a link for this? Because
I
I
thought it
don't
was
see
there.
it anywhere.
That seems like a
No.
bad
This is
idea.
the one you put in. This is the
Sounds
one
like
you
that.
put in, Mary. Remember you were very, very angry when Pokemon first came out? The Pokemon Bank.
Yeah, I don't see it in the document though.
Hang
I'm like,
on,
what?
I don't
What?
see this.
Hold
list
on, I
the
put it there.
document either.
I swear to
Okay.
God, I put it there. Hold on, damn it. I might have had a stroke. I apologize.
Did you load
knew
up
it's-
like an old
Oh,
podcast doc?
somehow.
I might have. I wouldn't be surprised. There you go. From a Pokemon Sword and Shield article, we knew at some point we weren't going to be able to keep indefinitely supporting all the Pokemon. We knew we just made too many, and at some point we just said,
They decided not to
Good.
share that with people because they knew they would be pissed, and look at what happened.
this is from a US Gamer.net article. Yeah. Which is like, I don't understand Pokemon anymore. I'm getting too old. I'm only 26, and I feel like I've lost the thread on like, if they can keep supporting all these Pokemon, why keep making more Pokemon? That's all I have to say. That's all I have to say. There's too many Pokemon.
Because
Also, like,
get this, if they didn't, they're all the same game.
Mm-hmm.
it's true.
No, they add in bullshit gimmicks to each new version and then take them away so they can add new bullshit gimmicks. And it's
But
getting
Mary,
kind of irritating. Yeah.
Aren't you
Kinda
excited for giant Pokemon kaiju fights? Aren't you excited? Giant Pokemon Kaiju. Don't you want to see this Pikachu? Honest,
Not really. I'd rather see like all of the other Pokemon they already made than make up new bullshit forms. Because why?
I will say
They already did that in the last game too. Like the Megastone bullshit is basically the
just a
same thing.
stone.
all I have to say is
And-
Digimon can still kick Pokemon's ass. Thank you every day of the week. That's all I would say. Thank you, Jesus. Thank you. Even with the Mega Evolutions, they got nothing. They got nothing, I say. Giga Buster. That's all I would say. I don't know. It's weird. It's just weird. Like, why is Pokemon? Anyway, just make a different game,
I think-
goddammit.
I think the reason is because they upgraded to a new system, which means a new wired, which means a new sort of like graphical fidelity they need to adapt to, as well as 3D models and stuff, and they just don't have the time to do it for all like 9,000 of them.
Well, they say that now, but before the 3DS
Oh, yeah.
games came out, they were like, we've made these future-proofed, like high quality 3D models that we can use in later games, even when we make an HD Pokemon. And now they changed their mind on that. So
Never mind.
yeah.
Never mind. Forget that. Okay, move on. Also, when is their actual first original game in like forever coming out? The RPG one? Their original. No
What
one?
Sword and Shield?
What?
No, Game Freak is making an original IP. It was announced at E3.
Notely.
It looked
Like
it
they
looked generic.
only, yeah. I don't think there was like even much details with that whatsoever.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. What should we move on to next? Let's talk about Dragon Quest. What is that? 9 Staff?
Yes, 9.
Staff?
It's the DS game. They had a 10th anniversary live stream like the other day, and they had like all of the producers and directors in Square Enix and Level 5 who developed the DS game. And man, they were like, now that we have an engine built for Dragon Quest XI on the Switch, what do you guys think about putting Dragon Quest IX on there using that engine? And I would fucking love that because Dragon Quest IX is one of my favorites. There's a lot of they were talking about adding online multiplayer to the game since the DS version originally used Street Pass. That would be cool. Just the way you customize all of your characters with different job classes and equipment that actually shows up on your character. Like, I think it could be really, really cool because Dragon Quest IX is basically dead now. Like, they turned off the Nintendo DS online stuff. There was a lot of multiplayer components to that game. So if you tried to even play it now, it wouldn't be the same. And that game is fucking good.
Huh. Okay.
Yeah, I'm excited. They're like, we're not committing to anything right now, but they sure were teasing the heck out of it. They're like, it's probably going to happen.
Okay. Man, it seems like Dragon Quest. Like I can't keep track. They seem to be doing a lot with that IP lately. So
yeah,
cool
and they're actually coming out over here now, so that's good.
Yeah.
Cool. Yeah, we could talk about Zachtronics. I wanted to include this as a lover of edutainment games. Zachtronics makes their entire library of games free for schools. This is the maker of such classics as Opus Magnum, Infinifactory, what's that other one? TIS 100, Shenzhen IO. A lot of like really pretty detailed puzzle games, and all gonna be free for schools now. I like that. There's not a lot of edutainment games anymore, or games that are like you could play in a school. And I think that's a good move for them. I think it's a neat thing. I would not be surprised. Maybe in like 10 years, you see kids coming out and going like, "Yeah, we played on our computer rather than something like Oregon Trail. They played Opus Magnum I remember that game. Remember that playing that game on the school? I could see that. That'd be neat.
It seems like to get these games, you basically just email the developer and they send you some keys after saying how many like games you need, how many systems you need to install it on. But the restrictions are interesting. Like if you give out laptops to students, like they're not allowed to be installed on that. Like no homeschools, no private or for-profit schools. So it's just like school computer lab shit only, which is fine. I mean, it's neat that they're giving out free games for something like that because
Yeah.
school computer lab can be pretty fucking boring.
Absolutely. And it's just like, it's neat. It's continuing a tradition of Carmen San Diego and of Clue Finders. I love me some games you can play in a school setting. I love some
Well, I
wholesome
mean,
family games.
their games aren't necessarily like fucking Zoombinis or whatever, where
Hey.
it's made for kids. These are made as games first, so maybe the kids would enjoy them a little bit more.
Hold up. Zumbinis is made for adults, please.
Oh, I'm sorry.
Have you played that pizza level? I've never been more scared for my life. Listen, Zumbinis is an adult game.
It's rated AO.
It's rated AO. You see these Zumbinis dying out here? Getting murdered. Damn. I love me some Zumbinis. Fuck.
They are
What do
all
you make?
naked,
Zumbinis.
aren't they?
You
Right?
make Zumbinis. Not remake. Make a new Zumbinis. How about that? Make a new logical journey. You remade it with better graphics. Now make a new one. For me. Yeah. That's your song.
The
I didn't do
adult.
much of a new song.
That was very adult. Like that's your market right there.
Absolutely. I fucking love Zumbinis. Whoever made Zumbinis, I'll give you $1. If you contact me and say, hey, I was part of the team that made Zumbinis, I'm going to send you $1. You got to have proof, obviously. You got to have, like, some kind of record. You're probably going to have
I blame the
your
Bang
name
energy drink
and
right
title.
about now.
Yes, for this.
If you could send me your name, title, your organization name, address, and tax ID number, if applicable, and a link to something online that proves your affiliation with the organization, which games you want the license for, how many computers the games will be installed on, where the computers are located, how many students will have access to games, and how you plan to use the games in your curriculum, then I'll give you $1. Thank you. Some of those don't apply, but try to send it anyway.
You can take that $1 and you can buy a stolen CD key off of G2A.com, who's been in the news recently.
Hey, home
Nice.
of my most unsavory video game purchases I've ever made. G2A was recently in the news for attempting to bribe Thomas Faust for positive coverage.
I believe that's Faust.
Faust. That's true. Like the
Faust.
story.
It's a European fast. Fast.
European Faust. And then he posted it all on Twitter, as you can imagine. Because what? He's a games journalist. Why would you just try? Why do you bribe people? Like,
Can I read the quote of
Yeah,
this
go ahead.
email that they sent out? We have written an unbiased article about how selling stolen keys on gaming marketplaces is pretty much impossible, and we want to publish it on your website without being marked as sponsored or marked as associated with G2A. It is a transparent and just review of the problem of stolen keys reselling. Below, I attach an excerpt of the article. If you want the full article, just let me know. And then they also asked, they wrote
Just
in
got to
there
turn off your
too,
ad blocker and you can read the rest of the article.
if you are interested in publishing the article, please provide me with the pricing and details about your options for such content publication. So they're basically saying it's an ad, but don't mark it as an ad. It's real news. It's not. We're not lying. It's true.
question in the back. Where's G2A located? It's not an English-speaking country, correct? Because why are they capitalizing you in everything they write? Even if it's not the first letter, and like it's just like if you are interested. Like,
I know that's a thing in German, like, but it's saying their headquarters are in Hong Kong.
Okay.
I
Founded
don't
in
know.
Poland.
Oh. Founded in. What does that even mean in terms of anyway?
Oh, it says
It means the
found
people
in
who made the website
2010.
were from Poland.
Poland. Yeah.
Do they have an office in Poland still, or like where is
It was
where is
founded.
G2A located? Is there an office? Is there a building?
Oh.
Could I knock on a door? Is there like a
Probably not.
Sarah? Anyway, yeah, G2A. Maybe don't go there anymore, guys. I mean, listen, I'm not gonna
Anymore.
lie. I bought a game on G2A a long time ago. I regret that. But don't go there anymore. So it's a weird place. It's a dark web.
And they've been trying to defend themselves, saying like, "Oh, we're just a marketplace, like the same as eBay or whatever," but not really. Like eBay tries to stop scammers instead of being like, "Whatever, I don't know." And then let's write a fake article about how no, it's fine. Nobody tries to sell stolen keys, even though this whole thing
What?
blew up because indie developers were talking about how many chargebacks they were getting from credit cards, like stolen credit cards, purchasing keys. So there you go.
It's weird.
G2A.com responded to them on Twitter
Oh,
below. And they say, these emails were sent by our employee without authorization, for which we apologize to at Summon
I'm
Begin.
sure that's
And
the
the
case.
9! Exclamation point. Other media outlets he sent this proposal to. He will face strict consequences, as this is absolutely unacceptable.
Okay, two things.
absolutely.
One, that guy does not exist.
Yeah.
Two, this isn't surprising anybody.
Like there has to be like 5 people working for GTA, right? Like
Probably
wasn't there like
more than
mob
that.
connection?
Probably way more than you would think.
Wasn't there an article a few years ago about them being related to like organized crime or something like that? Like wasn't there like some kind of
Probably.
I remember something about that.
It's
with
probably
GTA.
the fact that organized crime are laundering funds through it in some weird way.
Yeah.
Just how they were doing with like Dota 2 items and shit.
Sure. I don't know if it's that was CD keys. I forget which one. One of them was. Not that I want to necessarily
about
slander
CD keys.
someone. What? What'd you say about CD keys?
Nothing.
Okay.
It's a good and nice and prosperous place.
Okay. It's a happy-go-lucky. Everybody there just looking out for the consumer and the pub and the developers. Everybody loves it.
They stream live on Facebook quite regularly with like the face cam and everything. So if they're
What?
yeah,
CD keys?
there was an old thing where like you would follow them on Facebook and get the 5% discount code, and I haven't unfollowed them. But yeah, they stream regularly live on Facebook. So with like a guy, like fully in
Like a guy.
yeah, so they're that confident their keys are totally fine and legit. So I trust them, or else I get to shout at that guy.
I mean, yeah, they're one of those things where they're probably just using keys from different areas, regions, or whatever, and moving them around or whatever. But still, I can't believe they had. I'm looking at these streams. There's a lot of CD key streams here.
Yeah, it's like almost daily.
CDKey.com plays Apex Legends Season 2.
Yeah, they do.
Weird.
It's just a guy. It's just a guy like.
It's just a guy, yeah. Just
Like-
selling your keys. Sometimes he makes them up. He's probably the guy that has to like screenshot the keys because they never like put it in via text when you get the key.
Yeah, it's just a guy sitting there with a phone. Okay, but listen, we're not talking about CD keys. I don't want to listen. There's something weird there too. It's not insane here. There's something weird with CD keys too. But we're moving on. We can talk about. Let's talk about Steam, home of the good marketplace, the good witch of the East, Steam. It has introduced Steam Labs. Their new experiments, like testing area for like
Asparagus?
new features for asparagus.
What did you say?
The new testing experience. I'm slowly fucking losing my mind. This bang is too much, dog. I need to step back off that.
You're bagged.
Yeah.
You should have some more.
Fuck. So Steam Labs is like their testing ground for new ways they're gonna manage some of this stuff. You got like micro trailers, which I thought wasn't very good. Did anyone watch any of those micro trailers? They were like,
Called an
I haven't
experiment
messed
for a
with-
reason.
Yeah.
I didn't dig it. Then you also had the new recommender, interactive recommender, which gives you like you can have some scales for like how popular you want the game to be, or how niche or older or newer, or like that kind of stuff. I thought that was all right. And then they also have the automatic show, a show about games. It's just like clips of games placed into a show that you can watch, kind of get recommendations and stuff like that.
And it
It's a neat idea.
uses machine learning or something like that to generate those.
Yep.
I like the
Okay.
line on the page where they mention that they the scripts were generated by the AI, but they actually had somebody read them because they said that the computer voice sounded way too weird, and they couldn't get it right, so they just had somebody read it off and just recorded it.
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, this is a neat little
Or
thing.
something like that.
It at least gives them a chance to test some stuff out, some different stuff for Steam, and I like it. I like the recommender, and
I mean,
the show.
the whole point, like indie developers were talking about how the recommendation algorithm, the way they redid it, was like a disadvantage to them.
Yeah.
And I'm watching this automatic show, and it's like Final Fantasy 14 Shadowbringers, F1. It's like all big ass games. Stranger Things 3. And I don't know how happy like developers are going to be from these machine learning things. I don't know.
But they were still pretty angry, I thought, about the way they handled the last sale from Steam, and how it like trimmed. A lot of people trimmed their wish lists of indie games because they want those big games. They got them free from the race event, so it kind of makes sense. Like, I think part of this is just, hey, we gotta assuage some of the people that are pissed off about.
Yeah, we got to show that we're working on this stuff and trying to help discoverability, but it's just showing me Octopath Traveler and Bloodstained. It's like, I've heard of all these games.
Yep.
This is not showing me anything new. Like, yes, Cooking Simulator. I understand. I might get that later, but whatever.
Like I did the like automatic recommender or whatever, and like most of the games already were on my wish list, which isn't particularly like you can exclude them, but then it's like the weirdest games in the world. Like the newest, like it's like, hey, the most niche game, the newest game is like Phoenix Wright Ace Attorney trilogy. Like that's the one that I don't know. Maybe that's me.
That's not very
Talk about that.
niche.
I know. It's like that's not niche. That's like a majorly popular.
I've heard of that game.
It's weird, but it's a neat idea. At least they're trying to do something different. So that's all I can say on that. Let's talk about Warframe, Mary and Jake.
Okay.
Warframe, TennoCon
I wanna talk about
2019
Warframe.
happened.
Yeah.
They released a big CG trailer. for
They released
Warframe.
a lot of
They released a lot of shit.
trailers. Yeah.
A lot of trailer. Yeah, but they released
The
Wukong
CG
Prime. That's cool. Anyway, go ahead.
Yeah, the CG trailer is basically the new game opening cinematic. It's by some director that I can't remember the name of, but he's worked on like Black Mirror, and he's supposedly a Warframe player as well too, even though he showed Mag using this weird power where she was collecting bullets like it's the Matrix. And he's like, she can do that, right? And they're like, no, but we're going to put it in the game now, I guess, because he made
Yeah.
this. So that was kind of weird. But Yeah, I didn't get any of my Twitch drops, and I'm still pretty salty about that.
Okay.
But it's apparently a problem that they're aware of, and I'll try fucking with it. But yeah, this new content. We have a date for one of the new expansions. Let me load this up.
Like I think all the trailers they showed were actually really neat. Like even like their Wukong thing was cool, and it's just a lot. It's just doing a lot with Warframe. It's like a lot.
The new war is coming out in Christmas. That's the first expansion that's coming out soon. It's going to be a big story quest line continuing on from the last one. There's also Empyrean, which they showed last year. They called it Railjack, and it was the big multiplayer ship combat stuff. And they went into a lot more detail on that, just about how it is something you organize through your clan. They showed multiple parties being able to help out each other during these things. Like there'll
Very
be,
excited.
while you're doing a Railjack mission in space, there can be something that crops up during the mission that another team has to take care of on the ground.
Yep.
So you'll have these scanners that you're going to have to manufacture. Like when they showed it in the item wheel, and they were like, he has 42 of them. I'm like, great, now I've got to make more shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, if you have a scanner out, you can help out other people on these missions and you get rewarded. They have an interesting, like, what was that system from Shadow of War or Mordor, whatever the fuck that game is? Yes, they have something similar to that, where you're going to be pursued by enemies that will basically steal other Warframe's powers, and you're going to have to fight them in their ship. And it seems like a big involved process with multiplayer people. Yeah, there's a lot of stuff to this game. Yeah,
a lot.
There's no date out yet for Imperium, the multi-ship combat stuff. But I hope it comes out soon because it looked very interesting and it looked pretty involved. Like there's going to be a lot of stuff you're going to have to do before you're able to get your own Railjack ship, and you have to like kit it out and a lot of resources and stuff, a lot of treadmill built in. But that sounds fun.
Yep.
And then after they showed that at the very end, they showed this weird, almost Death Stranding like trailer.
Yeah, like what was that?
Yeah.
Even? Like suddenly, okay, we got like what? What is happening?
It's very what the fuck. But I mean, Warframe has always had an element of that, but this even more so. Has a lot to do with the operator and the void, and I bet there are YouTube lore videos trying to explain what all was going on. Like I saw some stuff about like the Lotus's brother might be involved, and yeah, I just need to play more Warframe after seeing all this
Yes, I
stuff.
do.
I'm like, yeah. And I mean, Nightwave Season 2 just started. One of the daily missions when I was playing the other day was pet your cat or your Kavat or your Kubro. Like, that was a daily mission, and I thought that was cute. Yeah, Warframe is still good. They're still doing a lot of stuff in that game. There's like a new rendering engine that they plan on rolling out as well. And the Empyrean demo was using that new graphics rendering engine. A lot of work on lighting. Your orbiter ship looks very different now. It actually reminds me a lot of Gundam with a lot more panel lines and scuffed up metal. Yeah, Warframe is still good.
Still very good.
I enjoyed watching the cosplay contest at TennoCon too. That was pretty fun. Yeah, Warframe. It's good.
Warframe.
I'm gonna play some tonight.
Creepy space horses. That's all I have to say. Very creepy, spindly horses. Very exciting. Do you want to talk about this last news story or No.
Did
No,
they
I-
mention?
I
where-
didn't even hear anything about this.
Same.
Go ahead, Mary. If maybe you want to tell me about this.
Yeah,
Sure.
there was this game called Devotion. It was a horror game. It was published by
Oh,
IndieVent
yes.
and developed by Red Candle Games. When it was up on Steam, somebody found some like artwork talking about how the president of China, that Winnie the Pooh type meme stuff, and so it got taken down. And now the Chinese government has revoked their publisher's business license, so they're no longer able to do business in China whatsoever, because they made fun of the president. And I just think that's pretty crazy.
What did you expect to happen?
I mean, I didn't expect
It's
them to
China.
fully shut down the company. Like, I thought maybe after some apology and getting rid of the game not being able to be for sale, like, I don't know. I don't live in China, I guess. So I was still kind of surprised that they went that far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird. If you played that game, Devotion, it's also like there's a lot of very hidden references to some of the weird cults that have popped up in China and stuff like that. Like, so it's a pretty politically charged game already, and then I think the Winnie the Pooh stuff is like, what's this weird? It's just like, why you close down a whole company? You're like, yeah, it's a sad state of affairs, but what can you
I
do?
guess they're just trying to make an example and being like, hey,
Yep.
you're not allowed to do this kind of politically subversive shit here. Like, no.
Sure. Well, it's all I could. I don't know. It's weird. China, not the most friendly state. Just saying. Just saying. Anyway, that's the last news story, I think. Anything else you guys want to add? I'm starting to crash from this bang.
Should drink more
He
bang
says
then.
as he drinks more of it.
Yeah.
Starting to just gotta keep it off for a little bit. You gotta come down, gotta
Mhm.
come down gentle, like a plane coming in, crashing into the ground. That'll feel good. There's a cat.
Well, that cat is just
Oh,
gonna stay sleeping while you did all
he
that,
just.
huh?
I don't care, man. You just lift me up, whatever you want to do. Oh, what a baby! Look at a baby.
He was really good during the podcast. He basically just slept. So,
Good. Well, welcome
which
to the
is what
show.
all our audience is doing right now. Ba-boom.
Boom! Got
You
ya.
should get some bang.
Get some bang in you. Cats like bang? Everybody froze for me for a second there. I apologize.
Yeah,
You
everybody
also
froze here
froze.
too. So it's all right.
And
It's
then
okay. Don't worry about
the
it.
initial response was, "Do cats like bang?"
Mm-hmm. You think?
Yeah,
You like-
Mary, feed that little kid some bang and give us a report.
See what happens. Okay. Oh, he's itchy. That's good.
He's itchy.
Welcome to the show, nameless one. We're so happy to have you. Welcome to the world of Rams over Baghdad, little one. Oh, big yawns. Yeah. Very cute. Very cute. Well, that's been episode 169 of Rams over
Nice.
Baghdad. I want to thank you all for joining us today. I'm Albie. You can like us on iTunes. It does help the show. Leave a comment. Check out YouTube.
iTunes is not
Twitch.
even a thing anymore.
I know it's not. I
We
fucking
say
have no
that
idea.
every
Where
Been for
time.
like a month
I have
and
no idea where to
change.
go with that now. Listen, it's so ingrained that I don't
Leave
know
us
like
a
what to
review
tell
on your
people.
favorite podcast app.
Oh,
Is that what people
Easy.
have to do now?
is that what
I
people
guess.
It
do
used
now?
to be the
Fucking- I don't
iTunes
know.
review. It used to be the iTunes reviews that would help, but that doesn't exist. So where do we? What's the arbiter of podcasts now? What's the like
The Arbiter.
Metacritic?
It's the Arbiter from Halo. That's who he rates all the podcasts. He sits around in a room and just goes, "I'm a creepy alien thing. I'm a creepy alien snail man. I'm gonna rate all these podcasts." That's what he does.
Go to
Yeah, I
our
don't know.
YouTube page. What's our YouTube,
Go to YouTube page. Rams over Baghdad. YouTube Paradise is the YouTube page. You can search that and you can find it. You can also find us on Twitch every single Sunday except for the last 2 Sundays, but we're not going to talk about that. Every single Sunday at 4 o'clock, you can watch us live. Watch me slowly lose my mind drinking Bang.
Oh, and next week is anime too.
Next week
so
is
there you
anime.
go.
Last week was supposed to be the anime podcast.
Last week was
Yeah.
supposed to be
Oh.
anime, but then upset stomachs occurred, and then what can you do? You know, everything fell apart. People got sick. You can't prevent that, you know. And then we will have some streams. I'm planning on playing Sea of Thieves at some point when I can physically force some individuals that will remain nameless to get on a ship with me again and drink some rum. I need to get rid of this bottle of rum that I bought a few days ago. It's been sitting over there. I just need to get rid of it. I got some ginger beer I need to use up too. So at some point we'll play some Sea of Thieves.
Don't let that rum go a week old.
Yeah.
Oh no.
Oh no. Rum.
Why don't you mix it with the other Bang you have?
Oh, I forgot to tell you. When I was buying Bang, there were some guys there, and they were just so impressed with the idea of somewhere in Florida there being a drive-through slushy place that puts alcohol in their slushies. Like, they were just like amazed by it. They were both sitting there, like looking at a YouTube video on their phone, out in front of this freaking grocery store, going like, "Man, I can't believe there's a place you can get slushies, and then they can just drink, like, you can put alcohol in it, man." It's like they were just amazed. They were amazed. So maybe I'll do that at some point. Go down to Florida,
Good.
drink some slushies.
Do that.
And that'll do it for episode 196 of Rams Over Baghdad. That cat is excessively adorable, and I have been Albie. Thank you all for coming. Have a good night, and have a good week, and enjoy some video games on me.
He's buying. Email him for PayPal info.
Email him. You got to provide your street address primarily, and maybe like
Your
some Social
tax
Security-
ID.
tax ID, organizational support. Oh my god!
Rest in peace, Pop
that's-
Builder. That thing's dead.
Yeah. That thing's done.
Look at him. He's getting it. He's like, I'm so. Oh.
Okay, that's it for the show. We'll see you guys next week.
Bye.
Bye bye.